Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 what's up? How you guys doing? Holy shit, we got 11 people in here? It was alright. I'm kind of nervous, so it didn't taste very good, honestly. Okay, I might as well just not eat. I'm sorry I came in kind of like right on the money on time. Okay, so shit. Let me sit down so I'm not all fired up here. Oh, supper was okay. I'm a little bit nervous. I just didn't eat that well. It was great. Shalom. Melon chili sauce. Shalom. What the fuck? Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up some. We're waiting for people to get in here. Yeah, I'm always Central Standard Time. You're just late. Sorry, but it's my fault. I should have said it. If I was smart, I'd say it. You guys are gonna learn. You're gonna learn that like when it comes to like transcending time and shit, like I'm pretty good. But like if you're wanting a time zone, good luck. Shit like that. I'll get like the fucking details of the cosmos. I won't get the. Yes, everything has a spiritual aspect. What do you mean? Everything in existence. So I don't want to talk about religion or spirituality because the way that reality is that everybody has their own sight. I don't know. Well, we need to go into what's going on, but okay. Oh shit, I'm gonna run out of battery too. Let me plug this phone in. Okay. No, I legit, thank you for coming, Sneak On. I legit did not read that message board right because I just read it too fast. And I read it offhand, like in my phone in a car or something with the or it was in a truck. And I was like, I think it was driving. So it was like there's sunlight coming through the window, and you get like sun will glance off to your phone, and you just can't see that well. So you're like trying to read the screen. Now, if you make your name USS Liberty Incident, it doesn't make you're not very like when you go into a chat somewhere. I don't know if you like going in a chat to argue with people, but they're gonna know where you're coming from right when you go in there. I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a big deal. The Liberty incident is a very unfortunate situation that happened and should not have happened and is not properly, there's a lot of misjustice there. I think what bothers me most about this day and age is that if there's some kind of misjustice, like let's say there's an injustice in the public sphere. So the first thing that happens, and it doesn't matter who it is, the first thing that happens is the victim will state their injustice that's been committed against them. The defendant will and this is I'm talking about like the weak versus the strong here in something like that. Like we're talking we're talking oh shit, who's that cat that just got fucking arrested for couch casting all of every woman in Hollywood a couple of years ago? Whatever his name was, I can't even remember. They just blend together. The Weinstein, yeah. Okay. So, that's just like an example, but it's whoever is the person that's going to get in trouble. That it pretty much is switched around to you got to prove. I mean, they're gonna only get like they're gonna give you a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and then eventually at some point they're gonna be like, oh, okay, and then it just becomes about money, and then it's just like, okay, how much do you need? Like how much how much are we gonna pay you off to make this go? You know what I mean? And I really don't like that. That's a very depressing, you know, if true justice is done or whatever, that's a completely different aspect than whether or not it goes to money. I get so tired of seeing money being used as the I get so tired of seeing money being used as the yeah. Well, yeah, if you're investigating, yeah, for sure. Snakeout says money's the only way to follow a story. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. It is. Now in the United States, that's everything that we know, we only know about from receipts. That's it. Okay. So you know what I think we should talk about since you brought that up? That's a good that's a good that's a good point. Yeah. So race baiting, like the inflaming, inflaming of racial tension is it's a really old tactic. Like we're talking like this shit has been around since like fucking Alexander the Great. Like, causing races to fight or to have just general tension that never dies down, like always gets like it's constantly flaring from one thing or another. And basically you only have, the African Americans in the United States are not unified except by like leaders that will kind of like pull them back from society, which would be like Malcolm X did that, and Louis Farrakhan does that. So it's like Nation of Islam stuff. That's about the only time, other than that, like even MLK was like pretty compromised. You know what I mean? But the racial, like this incident right now with the shooting, it how do I put this? Like the actual shooting, no matter who it was, it doesn't matter if it's these people here now, is totally inconsequential compared to like how fucked things are. But it's really important for them to put it in there, so that you don't get, you don't want people fusing together and forming a solid cohesion right now. I'm surprised that that's all it is, honestly. It might get crazy in the next few days. Maybe they haven't even heard about me, and maybe they're gonna hear about me tomorrow, or like 2 days from now, and they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, you better turn that up to 11, bro." Like we don't got. Oh, it is. It's way too over the top. It's way too over the top. But you also, so when you see shit that's like way over the top, conspicuous for like a setup, like even this stuff with the shooting, right? Like everybody remembers Trayvon Martin. Everybody remembers Eric Garner and shit like that. And then the fucking fake riots that came afterwards. That shit's all fucking synthesis. If you guys didn't know that. Did you guys know that? That's all fake. I mean, the people are dying and shit. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the production of the coverage afterwards, the aftermath. Like they are producing the chaos. Like okay, so there's this guy named Aaron Black, who was so Aaron Black is like he's like a riot coordinator for Democracy Partners. Okay, this is when that shit happened with Democracy Partners through Project Veritas. It was one of the earliest Project Veritas videos. They were just talking about them like pumping up protesters or something like that, like intermixing for like Trump election. You know what I mean? Like going into Trump voters and anti-Trump voters and stuff, and then like stoking them. That's what Project Veritas was saying. That's actually where I learned about Democracy Partners, is from one of Project Veritas's very first publications that they made. in 2016 election. Project Veritas is dishonest because they don't want to talk about the shit that's really going on, which is that, Democracy Partners is basically run by Jan Schakowsky, who's the ninth district representative for the state of Illinois. And so you've got like a state rep that is running fucking destabilization operations inside of the United States and flaring racial tensions with the fucking killed people, by the way. Like black people in the United States have lost their lives because of this shit. And white people, I'm sure there's fucking white people that get killed by it too, It's the most fucking unholy shit I've ever seen. I mean, are you guys kidding me? Like this? Yeah. They're fucking good at it, you guys. I'm not bullshitting. You may get the sense that because I kind of know what the fuck is going on when I'm saying this shit, that like, I gotta handle this. I do not have a handle on this. This is fucking, like this shit that's going on is fucking bonkers. And it needs to come out. Like people need to start fucking talking about it on social media and not being afraid to like tell somebody that they're a fucking idiot if they don't, if you say something and somebody's like, well, it doesn't happen, CNN, and you need to fucking like drop some fucking knowledge on them. Because we need to get this shit out. I mean, this needs to be disseminated into the sociosphere, this type of information that I give. Even if you can't give specifics, or you should try to learn, but if you can't get specifics, just like knowing, like if you know in your heart that it's what you saw through your eyes, like the last few years while you're judging everything, and then now you're like able to connect the dots, and you like know it, and then maybe you research some stuff so that you know for sure, so you're not just taking my word for it, right? And once you know for sure, then fucking pack that away in your heart, so that when you're going and talking to people, they know that you're for real, and they'll fucking know. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking inner city fucking gangbanger that you're trying to tell that like these people don't give a fuck about black people, or it doesn't matter if you're telling some fucking university student that thinks that they're a fucking socialist. They are fucking victims, not because of the shit that the media is saying that they're victims of, but because they can't make fucking free choices because the fucking media is a goddamn totalitarian fucking propaganda arm, and they are disadvantaged because they are already, like in the United States, like there's no, I mean, if you want to talk about the way that African Americans are really disadvantaged, it's through the fucking global media, and always has been. Like them getting warred against races and shit. Like that's a fucking disadvantage. That's a fucking. I would be fucking pissed about it if I was black. What's up, wieners? That's what Gerald Darden says. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would be fucking pissed off if I was a black person, because not only did they tell them that like white people imported blacks in the transatlantic slave trade, which is really not, that is not a historically honest, I mean, yeah, there were fucking white or like European fucking slave ship owners and and fucking plantation owners, but it is not like, it is a pretty serious misrepresentation of history. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about? Fucking shit pisses me off. If I was black, I'd be so fucking pissed at these fucking people. No, it's not even about, look, yes, the African tribe leaders know the area, and after they figure out they can make money, then they would sell people, you know what I mean? And they set up a business. But they're not the ones that are fucking organizing international fucking slavery between fucking continents and shit forever. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but slavery is not legal in Christianity. It's not prohibited in another fucking religion. I'm not going to say which one it is. You can use your imagination. It's currently, and never has been prohibited at any time. Like there's never been a decree where it's like, we can't do slavery anymore, it's over. It's been ongoing for fucking thousands of years, including when the transatlantic and the Saharan slave trades were going on. There's a really good, I'm not even gonna, I mean, if you go on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and you can look that topic up, and I'm sure you'll find some interesting stuff. I'm not gonna say anything. You guys can just fucking look it up. You guys need to do like one or two things yourself. You can only do so much. I'm just like pretty much like a man at the end of my ropes in a garage. Okay, I'm not much of a threat. You guys, or a resource. You guys need to be learning the shit. I don't know what to tell you if you have a tough time with them. Let's talk about some shit that's like that like broadens perspective so that you understand more, and then maybe you'll have a better time. So here we go. So we know right now, like right now in the United States, we are on the cusp of a really drastic transition. We don't know exactly what's going on, but it is going to be very significant and extreme. Any way that you cut it. We are also pending a war with China. That is a second issue. The war with China is going to culminate in a world war with many other countries like going all at once, and we don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a very fucking long time, and it's going to be a big deal, and people are not going to be that comfortable. It is going to be more significant than World War II, and World War II so far has been the most outrageous thing that's happened on Earth. Like everybody's displaced, everybody's like not having a good time. Okay, this is going to be bigger than that, and yeah, it might be a forever war. I'm serious. Like you think I'm fucking around? We might go full 1984, and this motherfucker. I mean, fuck you guys. We just fought. I mean, the fucking G-Water's fucking 19 years old. You know, like, do you know how much of an idiot you are if you can't win a fucking war in 19 years? Like, you probably just need to give up. You know what I mean? That's not even like a fucking option or suggestion from anybody. They're just like, well, let's keep all those wars cooking on the back, within 19 years, and let's start some new wars. Like nobody. Yeah, it is borderline 1984, but it's not totally there. You're gonna need some hardcore shit to happen for it to get 1984. It's Brave New World. Yeah, I know. I've read the fucking Talmuds, right? You guys, we need to bring this in. Yeah, people have born. That's correct. People have died in GWOT who were born after it started. Has somebody died? Has it been KIA? Or I know that somebody served in it. People are serving after it started. Is there KIA? Is there a known KIA? Do we have his name? If so, hey David, no worries. I appreciate everybody for coming. Hopefully, I'm not too out there for you. Hopefully, you can withstand my presence. I don't know what's a soma, Gerald. Well, don't put me up too high because I might get fucking canoed in the head here any day now. Oh, that's the name of the drug in that book? Soma. That's a fucking cold name, isn't it? It's like Soma. I can just imagine it like Soma with an echo going through my skull. What the most important stuff is. Yeah, sure. So Tom, this is a totally appropriate question considering that we don't really know what's going on right now. Tom asks, can you tell us the most important, what the most important stuff is? That's a good question. So like if I get canoed tomorrow, then whoever's here that's gonna fucking, whenever this shit fucking happens, you're gonna have to figure it out. But basically what has happened is that in the beginning of the 20th century, you had through the Rothschild house of Britain, which is who we fought that is who we fought in the fucking Revolutionary War to get the colonies. Okay. Rothschild didn't fuck with the colonies when we first got established because they were busy fucking with all the other countries that were in the 7 Years' War, right? Like they were like plundering all the other countries, setting them up, getting them under control in Europe before they could, and we were over here with a fucking ocean between us, and we got our colonies set up that we took from France. or I mean, we took them from France first, then we took them from Britain, right? 7 Years' War was France, and then Revolutionary War was from Britain. Okay, so yeah, so I do. I'm not even heads on a swivel. I just drink. I'm just drinking beer, so then maybe it takes the edge off. I don't know. So maybe a beer will take the edge off of death for me. So so yeah. So basically, so if you don't know this, the 7 Years' War was World War One. Like World War One that we know, that is not World War One. That's actually World War Two. 7 Years' War is World War One. In World War One, a bunch of crazy shit happened. I mean, you had like fucking East India Trading Company and shit, which is like a private merchant government out of Britain, like extended out of Britain. This is like their beta test of like, let's see how much fucking bullshit we can get away with. Look, this isn't even a country. Let's just make it a country. What if money was a country? And they're just like, and just fucking surfed out on a giant gold coin with a sail on it. Like and then fucking traded opium everywhere, all over the world, fucked everybody up. So that, so yeah, I mean, Freedom American Ale. So the, so the, so 7 Years' War, you get a whole. I should probably bring up sources just so I don't fuck up here. But you get what's called an old switcheroo. That's what Dune calls it. We're gonna call it an old switcheroo. But I think they actually have a poli-sci name for it. But it's when you have, you know, like two teams. Like if you had two teams, like A team, B team, and then each team was composed of like A had a C, and then B had a D, and then if the fucking D went over there to the A, and the fucking C went over to the B, then they would just like crisscross. It wouldn't make any fucking sense, right? Like that's what's incredible about it is that imagine if you're the people in the country, and like imagine the Iraq War, the Iraq War that we just fought in 2003. Imagine, you remember how you watch CNN and shit, and they would talk on the news about bullshit about fucking coalition and shit. They're trying to synthesize that everybody's getting along, so that fucking dumbass America goes and does it. Then everybody else got there and they're like, wow, this is totally fucked up, and then they kind of like pulled back and we just stayed. That's what happened. But they wanted to make it look like through the news media that like the entire world was like hands across the world, we're all love and joy, let's go kill all the Iraqis. You know what I mean? Like that was what happened. If you don't recall, I was fucking there. I know. So the so and then when we fucking got back, then we fucking, after all the fucking people that we killed, we fucking, like, I remember getting out of fucking Ramadi and shit and turning over to the Iraqi military forces, and then like feeling like shit was fucked up, but I remember feeling like well, at least they get their fucking country. You know what I mean? Like that's what's most important. Nope, all those people got fucking pushed into holes with fucking Japanese tractor equipment and fucking shot in the head and dumped into fucking unmarked graves. They fucking they fucking went so fucking crazy on those people, especially Ramadi and shit. Like like Ramadi's getting fucking police officers fucking their entire fucking skulls dumped out in fucking streets on video and shit. Like, and they just fucking hand that shit over. Like not like how many fucking Marines died in Ramadi? Fucking in 2006, one third of all the fucking casualties in Iraq were in the city of Ramadi, which is smaller than like Baghdad and Ahmadiyya and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was a fucking bad city. Like, it was like you would fucking find IEDs in the ground, and they would just be like, you would pull it out, and they'd be like old IEDs that people just forgot about and never got taken care of. They're just like under there because that's how many layers of fucking IEDs there are. Like, I'm serious. You would see fucking dogs eating people and dogs eating dogs. And you see fucking people with no fucking skin on because they're fucking skeletons and shit out on the street. Like, this shit was fucked up. Okay? And it wasn't that great of an experience. And I am so fucking sick of this fucking media, because the only thing that they ever got along on was fucking sending us over there to get in there. That's it. The only thing they fucking cared about was when all the American public was like, we don't really want to go to Iraq. And then they were like, oh, you need to go. Like, just look at all these papers. Look at these papers. Look at this file. You look at this fucking vial. And they fucking had to have a fucking televised court session to try to create the background. And then like Colin Powell's a fucking idiot, but, or if, I don't know, he's probably a pretty sharp guy, but he doesn't, his soul is basically like the fucking shit that I scrape off my boot, because he's a piece of shit liar. And, and he did a good job of fucking getting us in there for all the fucking, for all the people that, like, especially in 2003 and shit, like all this shit with like the fucking racial manipulation where they're fucking with people's psychology, it hadn't really taken effect yet. It was still like buried inside of people. Like it hadn't been brought out to the surface and like displayed for everybody to see, right? Which is how they do it now. It's just like these ridiculous displays in media that are absurd. They're almost like the shit that's going on right now in the media and shit, and like with porn and with like fucking the completely lost young generation right now is almost like, it's almost like if Satan was making performance art. Like, I don't really know. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, and people don't see it like that. And I'm not saying like a judgmental thing, like what you're doing is wrong or something like that. I mean, whatever you do, you do. I'm just saying that like from the outside, from somebody that's, still has some bit of sanity and is looking at this shit, I am like, like, I mean, you got, who's the closest to you is like East Germany, like post World War II East Germany, where everything's just like a fucking acid trip, and they like bring in like Africans to put up jazz posters everywhere, and then it's like the fucked up, creepy, like Eastern European art shit, That's the closest thing that I can describe. And people can't see that right now. Like young people in universities and shit all over the world, they can't see it right now because they are totally inundated by, they haven't learned that like material, like property and shit like that doesn't fucking matter. Like nobody, like all your fucking shit is going to break someday. You're going to be fucking dead. You're going to be in the ground. Your fucking body is going to look stupid just like everybody else when you decompose. And all the shit that you do and the choices that you make is the only fucking thing that matters. And they haven't learned that yet. And they're slowly pushing that experience, that catharsis of humanity for each generation. They're pushing it further and further away. The one that's the current generation that's like in school having fun. Like you are a fucking psychopath if you are just like, la, 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 like playing in school and shit and never even notice anything's wrong. Like you are going to be a problem. I'm telling you that right now, because you are like, you can't even detect what's going on in the world. Like shit is fucked. And I mean that in terms of like human suffering and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the shit with China, like getting all the electronic shit from China. The fucking Chinese are suffering with it because of that. I mean, they used to. They're not so much now. I'm sure it's still bad as fuck over there. But like, like it's a regular thing for just like Chinese to die from poisoning from fucking like silicone and fucking parts and shit and chemicals and fucking industrial accidents. Like it's like the jungle, like the book The Jungle from like the Industrial Revolution. That shit's been going on for like the past 50 years in China, continuously, like nonstop expansion. If you go to Google Maps and you look up China and go to mainland China, if you're watching this, yeah, thank you, Upton Sinclair, The Jungle. If you're watching this, then you're probably a little, you're probably fine. I'm just saying that I mean, why am I even entertaining that question? Like, you either get what I'm saying or you don't. This isn't for kids. If you're in 8th grade, get the fuck out of here. You guys got that? So, yeah. And here's the other thing. This is a good point. And I'm not ripping on you when you say this, Gerald. This like helps in the point. So Gerald says the author of The Jungle was a socialist, unfortunately. He's talking about Upton Sinclair. That is true. That's absolutely true. So when I'm giving you a book, like when I give you guys book recommendations or something like that, you guys need to be really careful to not fall into the like people, like humanity, society has been taught to like not be able to evaluate anything. Like you don't need to hear from me if somebody's like who somebody is or what they think or whatever, and like my judgment of it. You guys can make the fucking judgment of it. I'll just tell you, go look at this shit. Like go look at this fucked up hole over here. And you can go look at it if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And then you need to be able to have the the courage and the mental acuity to, which is not that's something that's like a willingness. You need to be able to like be willing to examine it and make a decision for yourself and be willing to stand for what you believe in. So like, if you read the shit and then if you really like communism and shit, and then you're like, well, I like him even more because he's communist or whatever, socialist, like fucking fine, just stand for it. But I'm not telling you that like, the book, if you pick up a book and you read it and then you figure out that the author's socialist, and then so you're like, you're like, I don't like this book anymore and I'm brain dumping all the words, then that's not critical reading. Like you get what I'm saying? Does that make a point? Yeah, you should be able to read your greatest opponent that like writes shit that makes you want to fucking vomit in your own mouth while you're reading through it. And you should be able to read through the whole thing and go back and like, look at each paragraph and shit and figure out exactly what the fuck is going on. And that's like, if it's necessary for you to read it. I've not read The Prize. Don't filter information. Just make no judgment, right? Like I'm trying to let me try to explain something. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this. Oh shit. Okay, I wanted to get some visual aids, but I don't have any. Okay. This is gonna be heavy. You guys ready to go heavy? Yeah, you should always read things that you disagree with. Everybody should. Anybody that's ever trying to get rid of information or history or guns, like trying to get rid of things and then say that it's a conflict resolution, is a subverter. Like that is what's going on every single time. There is no instance where that happens in organic, happenstance that just naturally happens. It's fucking subversion anytime. Like why would you, like people that are like, well, we need to ban the free speech a little bit. Like, I don't even want to talk about my connection. No good. Okay, so the stream is apparently smooth. We're getting kind of wild, but we're getting into something better later. Like we're gonna get more consolidated here in a minute. All right. So this is what I want to explain to you. Now, I'm going to warn you up front that we are approaching like a psychological type of, biological type of conversation here. But I want you to understand. So, because I'm going to try to push into a bigger point afterwards. Okay. So I want you to imagine in your head, if you're going to the store, okay, you're going to a hardware store that sells paint because you need some paint. And you go and you pick out color swatches, the little cards with the fucking colors on them, right? So like you're thinking about gray, so you get some gray. And then you like get some green and some blue and some yellow, okay? If you went home and you took all your color swatches and you laid them on the floor and you did them like, let's say this is not how you would lay out paint, but for the point of what I'm trying to explain to you, try to visualize this. If you put down like two piles that are identical, okay, like red, blue, yellow, green, okay, and then you did another pile, red, blue, yellow, green, right next to each other, and then you like took off one color off of one of the piles, but left on the other, and then you took the gray, let's say you have two gray cards that are the same fucking color gray, right? Fucking same thing, like they're in the same slot in the fucking paint thing. You pulled them both out, you got two of them, okay? You go over, and now you got two piles on the floor that were identical, but you just pull one color out, okay? When you lay out those fucking two colors, there's two grays on each pile right next to each other, and you look at them with your eye is going to see the gray as a different color between the two. Like they are not going to be the same. Depending on the wavelength of the fucking reflective property of color, there will be a greater deviation depending on the wavelength. But like certain colors, you'll look at it and like, there's no fucking way that's the same color. Some colors are really subtle, but it's there, okay? Now, this is some heavy shit, okay? What I'm trying to explain to you is that the way that we are constructed, and I'm not just talking about we, it's not fucking shadows, it's not fucking optical. We are an illusion. That is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? We are a fucking illusion. That's probably a little bit too far. Let me back up. So everything is rendered by contrast and compared between the two. Everything that you do, It doesn't matter. Now, what I'm talking about is not recognized by science, like modern science, like the people that are at fucking the schools where they get paid a lot to stick their fucking thumb up their ass. They have no fucking version of this. This is the closest thing that you're gonna find for this is like fucking mystic religions and shit. Okay. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that no, what I'm trying to explain to you. All right, I'm gonna try to take something that's completely different from what we're talking about in the examples here, so that I can drive on the point. Because you're going to see where they're similar to what I just talked about with the paint. And you search with your brain and find out where they're similar, and then that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. I want you to imagine if you are you, but then like somehow you could just make a fucking direct clone of you. Like whoop, like a fucking amoeba fucking split. Okay. And now all of a sudden, like you're looking left, and then there's like you, and then there's another Dugan right next to each other. And 1 second before it was me, right? Now there's another one. I know, like nothing ever stopped for me. Like I just watched another one of me just like peel off my body, and now it exists, and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. I know I have total fucking perceptual continuity between when I was just sitting here and then when I got a double, and it just like instantaneously happens. Let's say like, there's no, I don't want to get into like down the weeds and like, and then he like slimed off and fuck, no, fuck that. I'm just saying that 1 second I'm here, boom. Next second there's another Dugan here. Okay. If like as soon as there's a split, even though that's Dugan too, because I'm Dugan, we become like both of our identities change. Okay. So like I will never be Dugan again simply because we were the same once, but now we're split into two. And this is like over time. So like if we just like, if we clone and then we were like, okay, let's just go along in our own lives and I never talk to the other Dugan again, then we are going to completely change. Like all of our experiences will be different. Our nutrient intake will be different for fucking until we die. Okay. We will be fucking different. But even at the moment, and that's obvious, but even at the moment it changed, like the moment of fucking change, there is no point where there's two Dugans. You get what I'm saying? Like somebody standing there that had to say like, what are you looking at? And you're like, I don't know, it's fucking two of them, two Dugans, right? But that isn't really, that's just like a quick answer. The real answer is that like a person sat there and thought about it, like neither one of them are fucking Dugan anymore. It's now fucking Dugan and Dugan B and Dugan, or Dugan B and Dugan C or whatever. I don't know. Do you guys get that? Do you guys understand what I'm saying when I give that analogy? Or am I just totally fucking blowing your fucking marbles right now? And you can't even track. Okay, yeah. So what just happened? I want you to compare that to the fucking paint, the paint swatches that are on the ground. When you put them in the pile and you put the gray on top with a slight color variation between the two piles, otherwise they're identical. And then the identical color, which is gray, like fucking changes color, right? Even though it's the same fucking color. So that is a compare contrast. So your eye decides on what something should be based off of like what else is around it in contrast. So it's contrasting to it, your eyeballs are contrasting, they're deriving. It's not your eyeballs, it's your fucking brain. It's like your existence. So your brain is rendering the contrast that you see and just choosing one depending on the situation that you're presented with. And the same thing happens when, like in this Dugan clone example that I just gave, your brain, as soon as the fucking new Dugan exists, your brain, like an observer to me, or me, if I was considering myself, would automatically have to like recognize from the or I would recognize myself always because it'd be continuous. An outside observer would have to make a distinction between me, Dugan, and the fucking new Dugan. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you, no, it's not double Dugan theory. This is just the fucking way shit works. What I'm trying to tell you is that everything is resolved by contrast. Time is contrast, okay? Like 1 second to the next is a contrast. Space, like is like fucking Einstein's space-time. Yeah, that's contrast. One space is where you're standing now. And then if you moved, which would imply space, right? Like if you never move, if there's no access, like there's only a single point and it's not space. But if there's 2 points, like you went to a second point, then it's like you had to have an origin of a first point. Well, you have to contrast it with the second point as contrast. Okay. Furthermore, Are we tracking this so far, or do I need to keep on going? Or you get the example I'm saying so far? Or do you understand this applies to every fucking thing? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. This applies to like anything that you consider. Like when you stare at a wall, have you ever stared at a wall for a long time and then the wall starts to like fade out while your eyes aren't moving because you're staring at one point so hard? That's because the way that your brain receives light is by comparing the last moment against the new moment in contrast. And it's not picking up changes because your eyes aren't moving that much. I mean, they are moving. You can never actually hold them still. But they're not fucking moving that much. And so your brain says like, there's nothing even going on here. Just go ahead and turn that shit off. You know what I mean? And then your vision starts fading. Like if a bug flew in front of you while you're doing that shit, then you'd fucking see the bug, even though the background would be like fading away while you're staying at one spot. Okay? Yeah, that's what's going on. So this is a law. Like I don't care. Listen, guys. I'm not here to fucking sell you Bibles or whatever you're doing, right? Like whatever you're into or not or offended by. Like some people, if I said that, they'd be so totally offended that I even talk about Bible. Other people would be like offended that like I would even like I don't care. I'm saying that no matter what your fucking religion is, even if you're a atheist and you hate God or you're an agnostic, this is the way that fucking everything works. This is the way that like this phenomenon that I'm talking about is the construction of the creator that is in the Bible. Okay, this is how like the fucking Tanakh for the Jews opens up. Like is with this. Like Genesis is about this. Like when they make computer language, like zeros and ones and shit. That's what is his name? Leibniz or whatever. Leibniz. That's contrast. 0 1 is contrast. Okay, all the higher level languages are just like compiled languages from the base languages 0 1. You know. Yeah, binary code exactly. Are we getting? Yeah, it's binary, but everything. But what I'm saying is that you see a 0 and a 1, but it's two. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. It could be a plus and a minus. It doesn't have to be the shape of 0 and 1. It's just that they're two relative characters that are distinct from one another, and that they define each other. Like, and once you take one away, it would define the other one. Like the definitions change. Just like when the clone is here, like when Dugan has a clone, as soon as there's a fucking clone, my identity begins to change. Even though I'm not like, I don't see myself the same way, but like my identity relative to everything else fucking changes. Okay. Yeah, it's 0 1, energy versus no energy. It's fucking Adam and Eve. Okay. It's fucking male and female. It's fucking yin and yang. It's only opposite and contrasting for your discernment of what is true. Yeah, it's not even for what is true. Okay, this is a good point I want to get into. Now we're getting too much into philosophy. I need to back out of this because you guys are not ready to go into this. This is not the right place to do this. Okay, so Dill 899 says it's only opposite and contrasting for your discernment of what is true. And what I'm saying is that what you perceive is not true. And it's very difficult to understand what I'm saying if you haven't, if you can't conceptually understand what I'm saying, then you're not gonna, like when I say that, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What I'm saying is that let's go back to the colors, okay? Your 2 color cards, because you got them at the store. I'm getting to what's true. Fuck, hang on, guys. I only fucking talk so fast. What do you want me to fucking do an auctioneer style video here? Then you fucking color palettes on the floor, and then you pull them up and you fucking look it up. I mean, come on. Like, fucking slow down, and you're just now getting into some fucking shit. Let me just fucking tell you, okay? So, I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Can somebody help me, please? Where were we at? No, it's not the brain. You're perceiving through your brain. That's not what made the shit. Your brain didn't fucking make the fucking floor that you're looking at. Okay? Hey Squatch, what's up? Thanks for coming in, man. What that mouth do, it's gonna fucking speak words of terror onto you until your fucking knees are wet. Yeah, so your perception is lies. Okay, this is a good point. None of this matters. Black flag. Pretty typical. I could have guessed that you would say something like that. So the okay, yeah. I like Black Flag's idea. Let's get the fuck out of here and get back to what the fuck we're talking about. Okay. I was bagging on Black Flag at first because of his name's kind of like predictable. But he's fucking right. They're getting out of this fucking water. You guys are too dumb for this. I'm sorry, you're too dumb. Like, look at these comments. You guys are not cohesive enough to talk about this shit. We're not talking about it. I'm not going to fucking try to fucking drink. I mean, seriously, right? Like, seriously, you see these comments? Like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and play the short bus with you guys, like gimping my fucking mental idea just so that you don't understand, and you're like, cool, this is gay. Like, I don't want to talk about this. We're going back to what were we talking about before? I'm dumb too. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad because you're dumb. We're all dumb. Nothing. Look. Okay, I will say this. This is the only thing I'll say. Nothing that I have, like, if I look like I'm intelligent to you, I don't have any fucking intelligence. Anything that I say that you're like, whoa, woo, that is because I'm fucking reflecting it off the fucking stratosphere and bouncing into you. I didn't fucking come up with anything. Okay, I'm not a smart guy. You guys have a real misunderstanding of the actuality. Like, we're all brainwashed. Thank you for coming in, Flotation. Okay, thank you, David Turner, for getting us on track. I appreciate that. We are going back to 7 Years' War. I am getting this secondary device here to pull up some 7 years to give you some fucking facts. If I can remember how to work a phone. You guys can feel free to do exactly what you're already doing. Just let me fuck off for a minute. Oh shit. Maybe my phone doesn't work. Okay. I have a really old smartphone that's seen its days. Okay, so just so you guys know this, you can, like, when you get a cell phone, if you didn't know this, you can disassemble it and like pull all your shit out. So you can pull out like your fucking GPS, you can pull out I mean, fuck, I pull out everything. I pull out fucking antennas and these external antennas and my shit. But I don't know if you knew that. You can also change your own battery. Like, if you're sending your cell phone to go get your battery changed and spending money on it, and you don't want to do it if it annoys you, you just know that it's possible to change your own battery on your phone. You shouldn't be afraid to do electronics. Like, someday there may not be a little posh iPod store or iPhone store where you go in there and somebody's with a polo collar. Someday you might just be like China, where it's just like your fucking streets are full of fucking electronics trash, and you just dig through it and find shit. Okay, here I'm gonna give you guys the description. We're gonna do Wikipedia's because this is all accurate shit, and it's fucking somewhat simple. Okay, so this is Wikipedia's, compound, like, multiple, whoever the fuck is writing this shit. Like, multiple people come in here in Wikipedia and just write shit all the time. 7 Years' War was a global war fought between 1756 and 1763. So in the United States, it was called French and Indian War. So if you ever watch like The Patriot with Mel Gibson, when he keeps on having this fucking rad fucking aesthetic flashbacks of like old days, that's fucking French and Indian War. That's 7 Years' War. Okay, the conflict split Europe into two coalitions. One was led by Great Britain, and it also included Prussia. That's fucking Germany for all you retards out there. And the Kingdom of Portugal, the Electorate of Brunswick, Lunenburg, okay, Hanover. These are small. These are like German, fractional states. that later became consolidated, and have been consolidated like way a long time ago. A few other small German states, while the other was led by now we're on to the second faction. So we got Great Britain, Prussia, Portugal, Brunswick, and then you got France, HRE, Holy Roman Empire, and you got the like Saxony, which is that's like a people, and then you got and you got the Russians, Spain, and Sweden. The neutral countries in the world were Dutch, Denmark, Denmark, Norway, Italy didn't fuck around, and neither did the Ottoman Empire, which is probably pretty good because that would have been crazy. India had a fucking shit going on in India, so of course they have like figures on here on Wikipedia. Nobody has any idea how many fucking people died in the 7 Years' War. Sorry, Wikipedia. Like only fucking God knows how many people died in the 7 Years' War. France put up 100 Francois to go fight in this shit. Prussia put up 260K. Austria put up 373. Russia, this is shit, those are losses. No, those are losses. I'm sorry. I thought that was the forces. Even that would be big for back then. You got to remember the population of the planet was, I don't know what it was. In the 1920s, the population was like 1.5 billion people on the planet. Like, you know that? And I don't even know what it is now. What is it, like 1 trillion people? How many people are on the planet right now? Could you guys look that up and put that in a comment for readers? Or for non-readers? So, hey, Bill. Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't that wild? So we're talking 100 years ago. In 100 years, we went from 1.5 to 8 bill. that should give you an idea of how crazy this shit that's about to pop up is going to get. Because I don't know how much, I don't know how many more nations you can contain within the intercostal space of your front yard. But we probably going to have some fucking, you know what happens when a ecosystem gets too fucking flush? Well, it flushes. So. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The carrying capacity. Let's say like a fucking conservation ecology term. Carrying capacity. Okay. Now I'm trying to find what I really wanted to pull this up for was to show you this crazy switchover. But I read really slow when I drink beer. Or like confusing. Like I'll read through the sentence and be like, wait, what was that? And go back to the beginning of it. Okay. So here's a little description that would give some resolution here. The war was successful for Great Britain, obviously, which gained the bulk of New France in North America, Spanish Florida, and Caribbean Islands, West Indies, and Senegal. It's in West Africa. They got superior over most of the French trading outposts on the Indian subcontinent. All the Native Americans got kicked out of the settlements. This set up the Pontiac's War, by the way, which swallowed up. That's an Indian settler war. But where is the? You guys are tucking away the most important shit in here. Guess they don't want anybody to know about it. Strategies. Here you go. It's got to be in here. Strategies. Nobody fucking knows because shit's crazy. It's called money. The strategy is called money, and you do whatever the fuck it tells you to do. These motherfuckers switched around really early in the war. I don't know when it was. It's like in the first fucking year of the war. Like they were getting, like they weren't even like a year deep into it. Can somebody look it up? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So I can't read for some reason. So can you guys look up the 7 Years' War and tell me what it's called when the countries like do a fucking switch? Yeah, it's all a so if you didn't know this, the true reality is that every war is all connected. Like they're not nothing is isolated. You just have like concentrations that appear like isolations enough to warrant them being called a civil war. But almost everything, like especially wars in general, like when somebody goes to a war with a grudge, like a nation against a nation or a people against a people, it's because that grudge was like, earned by something that happened fucking before. And it just goes around a fucking circle. People in Yugoslavia live in like houses with fucking razor wire concertina all over the place because they've had blood feuds like between family, kind of like what do they call it in the United States, like the fucking McCoy rival, let me see here. Who said there's plenty of room? There's plenty of room for another 12. You want another 8 billion people on the planet? No thanks. You can fucking have them. I'll be gone. I'll go on the fucking. I'll go become a worm. Hatfield McCoys, thank you. Thank you. So in Yugoslavia, they have shit similar to Hatfield McCoys, only it's like Slav style. So it's like obviously all fucked up and like fucking people getting shot in the head and shit. And then there's they put fucking concertina razor wire and shit up, and then they put like everything in fucking chains. And so and then they have to stay in their house forever because if they leave, there's like people that they will put out like little bounties between, and I'm talking like families. It's just like there's like some dude wearing a fucking wife beater, like hanging out in his yard would be like one side, and the other side would be like, a fucking castle. It's that nobody ever leaves because it's like they keep. No, I'm not saying that it's. All right. So all I was saying about the 7 Years' War, and the last part where I went, was that they had an allegiance, a change of allegiance. It was a switch over of allegiance, and it's based on money. And so like these guys, you got to think for the 7 Years' War, like when the seven. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Thank you. This James, thank you so much. Listen to this description, guys. The Russian Empire was originally aligned with Austria. Fearing Prussia's ambition on the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. Russian Empire was originally aligned with Austria, fearing Prussia's ambition on the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but switched sides upon the succession of the Tsar Peter III in 1762. Yeah, so they had a total switch. You said the fucking who'd they switch to though? Yeah, they switched to the other side with Prussia, right? Or was Prussia with? I don't fucking see it. It's so confusing. You can't. That's why I have to look it up. It's like so confusing because you have like you basically have like the most illogical bands of countries that join, and then they fucking switch sides halfway through. And it's just like when you're looking at it, you gotta imagine if like right now you're getting ready to go to war with China, okay? So you're about to go to war with China, and imagine if the media ran a big fucking campaign, a big tearjerker campaign, and like the fucking football stars that you watch and shit are like having Nike commercials that like like go ahead and go fight the war in China, fuck your wife for you, whatever they're gonna do, and then like people are like, yeah, I need to do that, I love America, and they go do that, and then let's say like you're out there for a year and then you like barely make it back. And then you watch and you're like, okay, now we're on China's side. Like what? You know what I mean? Like how would you mentally process that? You know what I mean? Like how do you get through the fucking brain tape to hold yourself together with that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's totally sick. That's just the celebrities. They need to be fucking held accountable too. They need to be fucking held accountable for the shit that they're doing because they have those celebrities could fucking go outside and fucking take their pants off and put them on their head, and they had a fucking camera down there in fucking 10 seconds, and then they could just talk to people and tell people reality. Instead, they fucking get involved in sex scandals and fuck little kids, fucking raping children and shit. Like this fucking place is fucked up, guys. Like these people, like we don't need to be hurting people and like taking judgment out of people. Like judgment's really for you know where, but the I'm just saying like these fucking people need to be accountable. Pizzagate, can we talk about it? What do you want to talk about Pizzagate? It's fucked up. It's minimal. It's not. The shit is going on everywhere. It's not just fucking. I'm gonna tell you this. Do you know about the fucking the Bronfums or whatever the fuck they're called? Brom. Help me out here, guys. What's their last name? Bronums. You do know about them? No. Okay, I'll tell you what is real about Pizzagate. What is real about Pizzagate is that the motherfucking guy that ran a pizza shop made a video. Bronfman. Sorry. No, Bronfman. Yeah, Nixon. No, Nixon is like nationwide, and they're in California and fucking New York. I've heard lots of stuff about like different finders over the years. Like you're talking about the old finders from the '60s, or which one are you talking about? Yeah, Bronfman. So if you didn't know this, okay, you guys probably know about Pizzagate, okay? Yeah. Okay, you guys probably know about Pizzagate. Yeah, you probably know about Pizzagate, but and you know about Epstein, right? Like, what do Pizzagate and Epstein have? They both have to do with Jewish people fucking a bunch of little kids when they're in power. Okay, that's what's going on. Like they get in power and they're just like fucking going ape shit, just like doing the most fucking degenerate shit that you could possibly think of. Okay, this is not limited now, and I'm not saying this. Do not take what I'm like when I was talking about the contrast thing, thing. What I was trying to tell you with contrast was like, don't jump to conclusions. Don't put things in a box. Don't say this color's fucking gray and this one's not, because you might pull up your fucking colors and then see that both motherfucking grays are the exact same fucking gray, and you're an idiot. Okay, and you don't actually see gray. There's a lot of shit in every fucking thing in existence is like that, and so it causes a fucking illusory perception that's not real. Your perception is not fucking real. So when you look at shit and you're saying like it's the Jews, you're. I mean, I can't even say it because it's like if I say if I tell you that it's not the Jews, then you're gonna be like Dugan is a fucking Jew and he's shilling for the Jews. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I can't even like it doesn't even matter definitively. You should just hold anybody that's accountable. If there's a fucking Zionist Jew that is just like hardcore in their heart wants to destroy America, but they don't fucking do anything, then they didn't do anything. If there's somebody that like, pretends that they like if they're like, I'm not even Jewish, I don't even, I've been Jewish for 100 years, but then they're doing shit to fuck up America, then they're fucking guilty of it. Like it's a person's actions. It's not the fucking box that you put them in with your stupid brain. And it's a crutch for like not for committing evil is when like when you just put everybody in a box. If you don't know that somebody did something wrong, you shouldn't hurt them, or you shouldn't hurt anybody. You shouldn't be hurting people. But if it's gonna happen and you're doing it and you're just like putting everybody in a box and just saying like they're all the same, then I don't want to sound like the people. I don't want to sound like the Marxists who take that shit to the fucking completely wrong direction and say like everybody's the same. You can't even like we're all fucking covered in white paint. We're just fucking like walking around and nobody even has any clothes on. And we're just like fucking, you don't have to eat food. You just fucking eat rocked off the ground or whatever the fuck they're like. You get what I'm saying? I'm not fucking saying that shit. I'm saying I'm not doing the hands across the world thing. I am saying that you saying that? Are you saying I got it or he gets it? Yeah. Justice does need to be served, but when it comes naturally, like if you are sitting in your chair and somebody comes running up at you with a fucking knife and they're gonna stab you, that might be a good time to serve some justice so you can still stay here on planet Earth. Okay. If you're like driving across the state to go fucking shoot somebody in the head that you've never fucking seen, you did an internet search and it's based off that, you might want to fucking think about that. You know what I mean? Like that's not justice. Okay. Justice is really not in man's hands. Ultimately. Okay. I know. I'm just talking about like, I don't know. Why am I even talking about it? I shouldn't even get into parsing these topics because it's like trying to break it down and define it for you guys. You guys are gonna do whatever the fuck you want anyway. Okay, we were talking about Claire Bronfman, who's from the Bronfman family. You guys know Claire Bronfman? She looks like that. Okay, that's Claire Bronfman. You can't even see it. My fucking phone doesn't focus. That's Claire Bronfman. Okay, so Claire Bronfman is the heiress to the Bronfman dynasty, which is out of it's all over the world. Is particular in Canada, and it's related to like if you go back to her like the roots of the Bronfmans, they would be like back into like Prohibition era, like making the fucked up shit happen with Prohibition. I'm just gonna say that you can look it up, you can figure out the specifics, but like Meyer Lansky and shit like that, right? Like fucking gangsters and shit. I think they were Bronfmans were in like opposition to Capone, if I remember correctly. Okay, they're pulling in a lot of fucking dough. Bronfmans have like, if I'm not mistaken, they have like part of Coke, and then they have like Seagram 7, like all your Seagrams, like all your Crown Royal Seagrams and shit like that, right? Look, if you focus on the fucking Jew aspect, then you're gonna get confused here really quick at some point. Like, yes, all these people are Jews, but this does not mean that you should go fucking repeat the Holocaust. Does that make sense? If you do that, you're not. I mean, I'm not going to fucking talk about the Holocaust either. Oh, it's just a trap. It doesn't matter what I do. If I go, Holocaust. If I go anywhere and I step on fucking anything, if I say anything, it's a fucking trap. No matter what I say, I can't say it's impossible to talk. You see, this is the power of language control and fucking people and shit. I'm not shilling for anybody. I am not fucking shilling for anybody. I'm not fucking. You fucking do what you want to fucking get caught doing, and when you get caught doing what you did that you decided to do, you fucking get what's coming to you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Claire Bronfman, daughter of the fucking Bronfman Empire. She got caught. Claire Bronfman got caught in an operation called Nixon, which had like fucking TV actresses and shit doing fucking like sex. What, I don't even know what they're doing. Some kind of fucking sex trade, like human trafficking thing that was international. Okay, with fucking branding supposedly. I don't even know if that's bullshit or not. I'm just saying that this is what was all over when this was happening. This was all over the news, or not over the news, over the internet, involving Keith Raniere and all this shit. Keith Raniere is not the fucking important part of this. Yeah, it's you're right. It's 9 p.m. now. We started at 8, and now it's 9 p.m. Right? Yeah, I'm Central Standard Time. I'm in Missouri. Okay, so so Bronfman, what you need to know about Bronfman is that Bronfman's dad, like I told you about all this shit about food and beverage, right? Do you know about food? Like, did you hear what I said about food and beverage? Where are you, Squatch? Are you like in fucking the middle of the ocean or what? Yeah, tell him Dugan sent you wherever you're going. I don't even know where you're going or what the consequence would be, but just tell him that I sent you. Oh, East Coast. Okay, so the so you guys, did you guys hear the shit in Florida, bro? Florida is like, I love Florida for the first I don't know, year, and then after that, it's a pretty crazy place. You guys need to fucking grab the edges of Florida and fucking stretch it out so people have some fucking room while driving up I-95. Fucking gets intense down there. I don't. Randy does not hang out. I imagine right now Randy is like praying to the Lord that I don't fucking call him or anything on these videos. Like, yeah, let's stay on topic. Thank you. That's a great idea. So I'm gonna put in a dip and grab a beer, and then I'm going to fucking go. I'm gonna fucking crush this shit. Okay. Okay. Short interlude, just so you guys know. Okay. Let's see. How do you switch this fucking camera? Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a DPMS G2 in 308. These are the shit. If you get the lightweight one. Okay. Because they have the fucking, yeah, Broward County fucking blows, dude. So they have the fucking fixed front side post ones. Those are cold hammer forged chrome line barrels in 308. This gun, I think I bought this gun at dealer price at like $800 or something like that. This motherfucking gun is like an M4. Like this is an M4 with a 308 mag in it. Okay, this fucking thing is so fucking. I mean, this fucking thing is light. Like you get what I'm saying? It's this fucking light gun. You need to get this shit if you're doing 308. Put a brake on it. It does not work with. Like if you try to fucking shoot that thing with if you're trying to shoot the fucking G2 without a brake with the lightweight setup, you're not gonna get on target very fast after your first round. That was just a quick distraction for you while we're about to jump into this topic. Yeah, DPMS, they'll be fucking fine. Somebody will buy them. Guarantee it. Okay. So they didn't. There is no retiring the brand. Somebody's got all that shit in their basement. They're standing on there jerking off to it right now. They'll come back around. So yep. Thank you, Squatch. Okay, I'm not stopping for your questions anymore. I'm talking about this fucking Bronfman connection. Okay. So I'm just closing my eyes so I don't see you. Bronfman is a old family that is a Jewish immigrant family that is originally fucking Russian. Okay, they came in the United States. They set up shop up in like Canada, northern United States, and pretty much probably wherever the fuck they wanted. They fucking ran shit, and then they fucking started releasing little terrorists, little like they started releasing Jewish terrorists that were disguised with Italian mafia in the United States. There's not really any mafia. There's just like, I mean, you get the fucking picture, right? Like it's pretty much everything. Okay. To give you an idea of the kind of shit that you're going up against, if you want to boog or whatever, you're going up against the people who you think are Great Britain. You're going up the force behind for Great Britain. You're going up against the force that was the mafia. You're going up against the fucking people that are Al Qaeda, that you believe are Al Qaeda. You are going up against, I mean, do I have to go on here or do we like, are you starting to fucking understand? You're going up against the people that make fucking like B-2 fucking aircraft and shit that fucking fly across the whole fucking world and drop a bomb and then fly around an extra time just for fun and come back. They fly over my fucking house. Okay. Those are all the same people. Okay. I want to make sure that this is clear. Okay. Communism never fucking came from Russia. Communism was made in New York City and fucking California and fucking, fucking cloisters and fucking Paris and shit like that. It never fucking came from. Yeah, the redcoats. Yes, the redcoats. I mean, the people that you're shooting bullets into are people from Britain, but the people that are making King George the the Jews got kicked out of fucking England in, I think, 1285. Okay, well, the Jews got kicked. You know why the Jews got kicked out of England? The Jews got kicked out of England for doing fucked up shit in England. particularly financial shit. This is all. If you want to know about the Jews in England, you can look up History of the Jews in England by Sir. What the fuck is the guy's name? The fucking British author, Sir James Malcolm. History of the Jews by Sir James A. Malcolm has a very detailed, thorough history on the history of the Jews in England. If you want a better history, if you want other histories, I would suggest. I don't think Malcolm is a Jew. I recommend reading Jewish writers because it's like, you know, you do that, and it's just like somebody's like, you are so fucking racist, and you're like, boom, just like hand them the fucking book, and they look at it and just watch their fucking brain melt. Or why is a Jew writing about himself this way? This is not. No. Okay, we'll get into Israel here in a minute. If you want to talk about Israel, we'll get into that. That's we're actually working in. We can round into that. Okay, so so yeah, pack a fucking lip, boys. We're welcome to the Chinese army. So I'm closing my eyes. Yeah. So the Bronfons have like Coca-Cola right now. They've got fucking Seagram 7 and all that shit. And then they're also doing like international fucking child sex trafficking and probably like murder and shit, probably cartel shit. God only knows what they're doing. It's some kind of heinous shit. I'm doing Coke today. Thank you. I don't recommend chewing tobacco, especially if there's any children watching. You don't want to chew chewing tobacco unless you have to stay awake for like a week straight. Please do not. So the Bronfons get caught up in this sex scandal now. It's huge. It's got Hollywood people in it, right? Like you've got Hollywood actresses that have fucking active deals, like the Allison, whatever the fuck her name is. It's in this. I don't even know what show. I mean, I don't watch fucking TV. It's like fucking Prol TV. Is that what you guys watch? I don't watch that shit. What do you know that chick's name? That was the high profile chick that was in Nixon, Superman or something. You guys know? Allison, whatever her name is, that's in, I think it's a Superman show, if I remember right. Which, by the way, Superman Clark Kent is Jewish. We didn't know that. Allison Krauss, was she in Superman? Allison Mack, that's who it was. Allison Mack. Supergirl? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Allison Mack, whatever she was in. She's a chick. Yeah, she's the chick that is getting like fucking brands and shit, like hot brands, like a piece of cattle. Which, by the way, if you don't know this, the word cattle is from the same like root, like Latin of like capital. So like cattle, capital is the same fucking thing. If you didn't know that, or caput, which is the old word for top. It's like top. It's like caput, and then capital, cattle, the same fucking thing. Just so if you didn't know that should make you, if you don't understand economics, like I've been trying to tell you guys shit about economics, it's kind of hard to tell people because we're so fucking brainwashed. But yeah, Jussie Smollett, okay. Jussie Smollett, you want to know about him? He's fucking Jewish. He's got fucking pictures of him teaching or lighting fucking menorahs and shit on Instagram. Yeah, you didn't know that. Okay, so Allison Mack. Now, I'm saying all this shit. When I'm saying, you guys, I need to put a disclaimer in now here. Do you remember what I said about the contrast? You remember what I said about that? About how you pick up two colors, you're fucking positive that they're both gray, or that they're not the same color gray, and you pick them up and they're both the same fucking color gray. Okay? It's the same thing when I'm talking about the Jews. So just because I'm saying that these people are Jewish, I'm saying it for a fact. That it's just a fact. And it is something that you should know. You should know that, so that you can just be fucking situationally aware of around you. If you are taking what I'm saying and you are going like all Jewish people are bad, then that's not the case. Or you can, I mean, depending on who you are, it might be bad for you. but you do not, you need to let individual people be responsible for their actions, and you don't need to be delving out punishment on behalf of this shit that's coming out, because this shit is way bigger than you. Now, you do need to be caring for yourself. No, you can be, I don't even believe in the word anti-Semitic. It's not a real word. It's a fake word. Jews are the best. I wouldn't go that fucking far. Personally. You go ahead. That's fine. Okay. All right. So we are talking about the last thing I talked about was Allison Mack and Nixon. So Allison Mack is getting fucking brands in her fucking flesh and shit and going to fucking like brainwashing sex cults with Keith Raniere. This is all in the Bronfmans. So like first Keith Raniere gets arrested and then like, because basically how all this shit works, like Epstein and whoever, it's like whoever gets arrested, like they just throw a bunch of money out. And then like it works for fucking decades. Like I guarantee fucking to you that Keith Raniere is like probably going around like fucking people's grandmas and stuff or something fucking ridiculous that like cops are getting called on and then he's just fucking paying off the fucking DA or something like in California. I guarantee fucking to you, and it's just not even on record. They get pinched because the shit was so big with Nixon that they couldn't fucking hide the shit. And then so they pick up Keith Raniere and they popped him, and he, who knows what the fuck happened, but he probably fucking he probably didn't give up Bronfman's, I'm guessing, because Bronfman's are pretty big boys and they probably fucking kill him if they give him up. So they probably already knew that it was Bronfman's when they picked him up, and then he wasn't cooperative and they went and got Bronfman's. I think. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I'm not reading the fucking case files and shit. I can tell you what, the media was like, when this shit was going on with Nixon, the media was like, okay, and today it's sunny in Philadelphia. We've got 67 degrees outside, and there was a child sex international trafficker in Nixon. And then they like move it on. You know what I mean? Like it was fucking, they did not want to talk about it. Yeah, they wanted to avoid Nixon. Okay. That's fucking Nixon case. Okay. So Claire Bronfman has got off with that shit, by the way. She fucking walked. Like, I don't know how long she got like an ankle monitor and she's fucking gone. It's just done. There's no justice coming. A bunch of people got their fucking pockets padded and that shit's done. Okay. And this is like just happened. This is like after Pizzagate. So this is like even more recent than Pizzagate, and she's like gone. Surprise! Fucking Pizzagate. Pizzagate is like, if you didn't know this, I'm not gonna explain to you what Pizzagate is, but basically Julian Assange's real last name is Shipton. It's not Assange. He's Julian Hawkins Shipton, and he's from a Jewish family. Okay, and he's LARPing as his half heritage. Okay. So when you're watching WikiLeaks and you're viewing it like this is the fucking liberator, you better keep that in mind because this is not all monolithic in every way. And half of the shit is just a seat to fucking make you think that you have some kind of control while they fucking tighten the noose around your neck. Okay. Why? Because they fucking know the same reason that they're circumcising you in hospitals so that you can, because you don't understand what's going on. Like they know how big this shit is going to be. The reason that you are getting circumcised at hospitals, I shit you not, is because somebody a long time ago knew this was coming, long time ago, like decades ago, and so they started introducing circumcision in the United States, like after World War II. The reason why is because I fucking shit you not, somebody was thinking in their head, they imagined a scenario in the future where you guys are going to be running around with fucking rifles and fucking heads on sticks and pulling fucking people's pants down to check to see if they're circumcised. I fucking shit you not. That is why you're fucking circumcised. Okay. That is how fucking extreme your future is going to get. Like, just to give you an idea. You guys think I'm fucking around. I'm not fucking around. Look up the history. Look up the history of fucking circumcision, and you give me your fucking theory on why all of a sudden the United States tried to push circumcision and went up to like 80% of the fucking population for like a couple decades. Yeah, it's because the Jews have a long history of hiding in societies when they're like conducting like subversive warfare over decades in multiple countries over like thousands of years. And that's what the book of Esther is about. Okay. It's like hiding and pretending like you're not Jewish. And you know, like if you read the Bible, if you read the fucking Tanakh, the Old Testament is what people call it. It's really not, but if you read the fucking Tanakh, then you're gonna read about like all kinds of shit like that is in there. Like the way that fucking Joseph, you know, Technicolor Dreamcoat proves to Yehuda, which is the Jews, that he's Jewish is by showing him his penis. That he's circumcised. Okay, like this is like a fucking. This is the reason that you're circumcised is so that if it ever gets so bad, you're running around ripping off people's pants to check their dicks to see if they're fucking circumcised and killing people that are circumcised. That's why you're circumcised. Okay. Yeah, it's a sign of the covenant. So the circumcision is the covenant, the covenant with Abraham. If you didn't know that. Yeah, this is like I'm telling you guys, like people are watching these streams and they're like Dugan's fucking nuts. Then they listen for a minute and they're like, Dugan is fucking paying attention. I am fucking paying attention. I just don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a smart guy. I just don't come in here with any, like, I do not approach life with any fucking judgment or fucking, like, I'm not putting shit in box. Like, you guys are reading this and just fucking, like, can't stop, like, oh, it's a Jew! Or it's a Jew! Like, no fucking shit, it's a Jew. You may just want to slow down a little bit, okay? And fucking just listen. Why did I delete Carnicon? Because they're turning the fucking world into the world government, and I want to make little videos where I'm giggling at you guys so you feel at ease and have a false sense of fucking. I didn't want to fucking support the totalitarian rise of government. That's why I quit Carnicon. Just saw this shit. I saw this shit that long ago. That's how long I fucking known about this shit. In Minecraft. Okay. We are moving on. I would like you guys to listen, please, so I can give you some good points, if you don't mind. I know, I love the fucking comedy too. It's like a drug. I don't want to I want to fucking wake you fucking junkies up. Okay, thank you, Bo. That's a great, fantastic advice. I'm going to do what Bo says. I haven't checked my email. Okay, I'm not seeing your comments anymore. So, okay, we were talking about Bronfman's. Bronfman's got huge empire, mostly in North America. So it's Canada and the United States. They're doing fucking international sex trading with children and shit, and fucking like capturing movie stars and turning them into sex slaves. It's pretty hardcore shit. The Bronfmans, like Bronfman's dad, like Claire Bronfman, the chick that got arrested, her dad was the president of the World Zionist Conference, like the World Zionist Organization. He was the president of it, like particularly in the 70s. When Stalin was doing all his purges and shit, you remember how we talked about when we were talking about, we haven't done a communism, socialism unit in this true history, whatever you want to call it, true history fucking nightmare course that we're taking here. But Bronfman, like the Jews got stuck in Russia when Stalin was like losing his marbles, okay? So when Stalin was like having everybody and their mother killed, the Jews were getting stuck in there and they were having to like fucking keep low and like fucking just everybody just shut the fuck up and just hang out and wait until this fucker dies, right? And the Bronfman, and he wouldn't let anybody leave. You know what I mean? Like he was just like, everybody just hold still. Stalin was like, everybody hold still and I'm gonna kill you. Boom. And he's like, all right, no, just don't fucking move. And you're dead. You know what I mean? Like this is Stalin. Like he's fucking paranoid. So So Bronfman's dad was responsible for like organizing the movement of a bunch of Russian Jews into Israel, if you didn't know that. Like the big wave of the fucking Eastern European Jews that came into Israel in the fucking, I don't know when it was, 60s or 70s. That was fucking Bronfman, okay? So that's what that family, that's like the biggest thing that family did, you know, before I think he's deceased now, I'm pretty sure. Relatively recently. Okay. I don't have any notifications on because my fucking channel is stuck on fucking Made for Kids. I don't know why. I got no fucking clue about Germany. Germany is a fucking lost state at this point. Like they don't have a country. I don't know what you're. Germany. Angela Merkel was in the fucking Eastern European government, and so they're communists. This is like Germany's current construction is modern communism. The West Germany just left, and they larped like it was West Germany, and it's not. It's fucking East. It's fucking East Germany modernized with. They use the American model of like it's like a pseudo American model. It's like our future. They skipped ahead into what our future is going to look like, and they just put that in Germany. Okay, now what's really interesting, if we're going to talk about Germany for a second, what's interesting about that is that, do you remember when we were talking about the Freikorps the other day? Okay, which is free corps, if you didn't know that. And for any socialist that's in here that doesn't fucking know their history, the Free Corps is not the Nazis. It's totally fucking separate. It's a very important point. The Free Corps also existed in countries that weren't German. So like France had a Free Corps. There's different nations that had them. Like back in the fucking 1600s and shit, they had Free Corps. Okay, so it's like an old thing. Yeah, they're militia. They're the closest thing to the American colonial militias. They're the colonial militias, but like kind of a little bit more fucking deranged and fucked up, more like pirates in like the European states. And then they consolidated, depending on the need. And they fucking need it for the fucking German Revolution, the commie revolution that failed. What are you saying, like on the pronunciation? I shouldn't say Free Corps, whatever. It means the English, the English translation is free, right? Free Corps. Regardless of how you say it, Freikorps or Free Corps, whatever you want to say. I'm not reading anything right now. I'm fucking telling you guys shit that I've already read. Okay. So that's the Bronfmans. They got the Eastern European wave. Somebody wanted to know about Israel, so we're going to talk about Israel. Are you guys ready for that? We're going to shift gears to talk about Israel, if you want. Unless you have something urgent that you want to hear. Okay. Israel. Okay. All right. Israel was, Israel is Palestine in terms of how we look at nation states. But Israel, the concept, you have to understand for the Jews, it's multiple domains. And in Western thought, we don't have the equivalent. Like Jews have words and concepts that you dummies have never even thought of. Like, it doesn't even bounce around your brain. Okay, I'm just saying that's just a fact. Okay, so you don't have like the Jewish people, like Israel is the name of Jacob, which is a patriarch for the Jewish people, and it was given to him by a fucking angel that he arm wrestled with in a field, and it's pretty scary. But I think he gave him the name Israel because Jacob has the Jacob was like, he was kind of seen as like a swindler prior to the transformation, and he went and the angel, through his own his process of repentance, like self-repentance, he became uplifted and enlightened and became Israel, right? That was his new name. And that's like the entire concept of the word Israel for like a nation state comes from that. And then the people, so the land, the physical land that is Israel is known as Eretz Israel to Jews. Okay. And if there's any Jews in here that want to comment to correct anything, you can feel free. I'm not anti-Jew. I'm just trying to fucking explain this fucking insane world that we're all fucking stuck in to these goy. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So Eretz Israel is the land. Klal Israel is the people. Okay. I'm not going to talk about theological shit to explain to you guys because you have to kind of have like a cohesive focus, and you guys don't have it. So I'm not going to do it. Israel. So Israel, what you need to know about Israel is that its establishment is associated with Zionism. Zionism, the end goal of Zionism technically is the same end goal as all Jews, but the difference is how they get there. The book, from what I'm told, and I don't know this myself because I can't even fucking read Hebrew or Aramaic or anything like that. So I'm just taking like English translation word for this. Okay, it's not like the Jews aren't going to tell me if I go talk to them. I try to talk to Jews about this shit and they tell me fuck off. They try to charge me money. The fucking the fucking Israel is associated with Zionism. Zionism came from Moses Hess during the exile in the 1800s. And what Moses Hess argument was, if you ever read Moses Hess book, I'm not gonna be cohesive theology. You guys are all a bunch of special kids. I'm not gonna do that. You make me look like an idiot trying to explain it to you. Trying to the okay. I'm not reading your comments anymore. I need to have discipline. The Jews have the same end goal as Zionism, ultimately. The difference is that how they get there, like, you know, what you have to understand, this is what you need to understand about Judaism, from what I understand, which could be incorrect, because I'm not a Jew, so I could be wrong, because I'm an idiot. The Jews, the point of Judaism is bringing down God into the world for you dummies to see, because you don't see it, because most people do not have a conception of God. Now what I'm saying right now is that this is the way that Jews, you know, this is Judaism, okay? From what I understand. God is present inside of all of you and is here right now. And when you look at each other and look at each other in the eyes, you should fucking sense that fucking God is there. If you don't sense that, yeah, all consciousness is connected. Exactly. It's all unified. If you don't see that, right, it's because of a complex system that is a divine system where there have been sins that have been committed, like in the creation, in initial creation, like Garden of Eden, with like the fucking apple and shit, you know, tree of knowledge, good and evil, and you have, you know, like we are the remnants of that falling, of man's falling, right? And God is not perceptible in the domains that we use, other than through the things that like how I was describing to you, the fucking contrast and shit like that. Those would be mechanical principles that are truth, that are constant. And if you're super fucking smart, you can analyze them and then you can learn things that are like absolute and true, like for any people or time or place or anything like that, right? And this is the concept of like when you start getting into like why Judaism has so many books, like why they have the Zohar and Kabbalah and shit like that. Kabbalah deals with a lot of shit like this. Okay, so that's getting in. I'm trying to explain kind of like I'm trying to fucking elevate your fucking spirit here. Okay, so God is going to come down in the world as soon as the rectification is done, and the rectification is done by acts of the Jewish people. Acts, like plural, like they have laws that they do. They don't understand the laws because God says that they don't need to fucking understand it. They just need to do it, and they do it, and then they're going to cause a rectification, and at some point, it is going to be a countdown timer. That is the Messianic era. You are in the Messianic era, like. The Jewish time is not like we say the year 2000. It's like the year like 5,700 something right now for Jews. Okay. The year is 5,700 something for Jews. Okay. You have about 10 years, and you're gonna like the fucking messianic era is gonna, you know, like it's gonna start. Like you're gonna now. You motherfuckers need to stop putting words in my mouth. I am trying to fucking explain to you dumbasses what the fuck is going to happen, and you are so fucking stupid that you're sending money to Jews and they're gonna fucking decapitate you. Like you need to fucking pay attention and shut the fuck up. Nobody's gonna tell you this shit. No, I shouldn't even be telling you this fucking shit. I'm probably gonna get fucking killed for telling your dumbass this stuff. I don't. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I got kind of fired up there. That was pretty selfish of me. I apologize. I'm sorry. This shit is intense. Okay. I know. I'm full of error. I'm just a fucking. I mean, what do you guys want from me? I'm a fucking dumbass in the center. Just. Okay. So the there's going to be a rectification. Okay. It's very close. The fucking Messiah, the Mashiach is going to come. Okay. There are the Zionists in particular, but also other people that are involved in Zionism are hardcore fucking getting this fucking planet on lockdown. And there's a good possibility, even though I don't know if Jews know this, but I can sense it intellectually. There's a good fucking possibility that they're gonna fucking pop up a Messiah because they're gonna, you know, take advantage of it because they don't believe in fucking Judaism, even though they're Jews, and that they don't believe in God. And so you're gonna have like a materialist-based Messiah that's gonna, the Moshiach, is gonna pop up, and it's gonna be really powerful. And then you're gonna have a fucking real Mashiach that's gonna pop up and it's gonna be fucking hiding in the bushes and shit. You know what I mean? Like spiritually. Okay. This is in my perception. I have not now. This what I'm saying right now is not the opinion of Jewish people. Like that last tidbit that I just said. That is not the opinion of Jewish people. Jewish people are just like they don't give a fuck. They're just like, where is the fucking Mashiach? Like we're waiting for him. He's coming. We're waiting for him. Yeah. Yeah, and everybody thinks everybody also agrees. Most people, including myself, believe that the actual Mashiach of what that is, and I don't want you to jump to conclusions. Like when I say this shit, don't make fucking assumptions about me, about like who I am not a Jew, okay? Don't make any fucking assumptions about me. The person that is the connected Mashiach, I believe, is here. Is walking on the fucking planet right now and is not letting you guys know because you're gonna fucking try to cut his fucking head off or whatever. But because this world's so fucked up. But okay. So do we have some Jews in here, like some Orthodox Jews that know what's up? Trump is not the Mashiach. I can fucking promise that. Okay. That's cool. I'm fucking glad that Jews are in here because then when people watch this, they can understand that I'm not like people are so fucking stupid they can't even tell. Like, I can't even do like it's such a fucking double-edged sword, right? Like, I believe in a world where fucking Nazis can fucking hang out with Jews, okay? I see fucking God in both of you fucking people. I'm so tired of you killing each other. It's disgusting. Okay. It is the real world. The real world is a world where the fucking most hardcore Nazis have their German issue, which is a legitimate suffering of people. Like the Germans have gone through fucking significant fucking suffering, and I know that a lot of Jews don't give a fuck about that, but I do, because everything that happened is for a fucking reason, and everybody had to get made. But you guys need to stop killing each other. All right, so we're talking about Jews in Israel. Okay, so the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, the Mashiach's probably fucking coming. He's here, and there's another one coming, and it's going to be fucking bad news. And they're probably going to meet up and check each other out. Now, I won't mix up my bottles. I'm a pro. Don't worry. I've unfortunately done this way too many times. It's Bronfman's, like Bronfman. Yeah, thank you, Squatch. Okay, so the what you have to understand about Israel is that it's entirely built from the Jewish diaspora of Ashkenazim. I'm not going to talk about Kaufman. I'm just going to talk about we're talking about the construction of Israel with Rothschild. Okay, so the old like Hebrew, like when you hear like Hebrew, like the Tanakh and shit being in Hebrew. Listen to what I'm saying, please. When you hear about the Tanakh being written in Hebrew, that's significant because they're talking about biblical Hebrew, and it's a very different language from modern Hebrew. Okay, biblical Hebrew has things like in Genesis, when it opens up, it has characters, that associate with something coming from nothing, right? And words that mean that, like when you make, like in English, when you say the word make, like when I make something in English, right? We just have the word that's like make, and it's like, okay, I just fucking made this shit, right? It's very significant that ancient Hebrew that has a distinction between that word, which is not true, and like when God makes something, like from nothing, like it doesn't exist, there's no existence, and then it fucking poof exists. Atheists call that the Big Bang. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to believe in whatever the fuck you want to, whatever you don't like, right? I'm just saying that this is you guys are so dumb that you can't, because of your prejudice, like your own prejudice upon yourself, you're enslavement of yourself. You can't recognize that like atheism and religion are all the same thing. But the ancient Hebrew has distinctions between shit like that, right? So like to make something just really means to like reassemble it, right? Like if I go make something out of wood, I'm taking the wood that was already made, I didn't make it, and I'm fucking carving it and making it into some, fucking table leg or whatever. Okay. I know that everybody is, look, I know that everybody has God. Okay. I know this. Okay. Everybody's, yeah. I don't want to get into theology because we're going to lose the atheists here. Okay. We're trying to pull in atheists here. Okay. All right. That's it. It's not like I'm trying to denigrate your God. We're trying to, okay. I'm trying to fucking explain shit so that people can think about it because they've never thought about it in their life. Okay. That's what I just described about languages is particular to, like, for instance, ancient Hebrew, which is the Tanakh and shit. And then the modern Hebrew doesn't have that. The modern Hebrew is more like English, but it uses like similar characters and shit. Modern Hebrew was introduced during it would have been out of like Herzl, like Theodore Herzl, who's like the father of Zionism, consider that, bringing his little pamphlets over to the Rothschild house. And then it would have been like Walter Rothschild would have like funded the development of and dissemination of modern Hebrew. Okay. That's Walter Rothschild. Okay. Then you got Jacob Rothschild. Jacob Rothschild is like, he's still living. Okay. He's getting up there. He sounds like the fucking Mr. Burns on the Simpsons. Or no, that's who's that? That's Rockefeller. So Jacob Rothschild built like all the buildings in fucking Israel, like all the shit that costs money and shit, and all that shit. Like, you guys don't need to be sending fucking money to Israel because they've got plenty of fucking money. I fucking promise you. Right? You're saying you guys are sending money to Israel. The money that they're using is like, it's like the money that they gave to you to fucking build the United States. Okay, they don't need your fucking money. They're getting money from fucking Rothschild. Okay, Rothschild built Israel. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's no debate about this. This is not a, like, if you go into the Knesset, you're going to see a painting on the wall of Jacob Rothschild pointing to a little model of the Knesset because he fucking built it. Okay. You got it. So this is the reason why, I don't know if you've ever known this, but like, a couple of things that are contrast. We're talking about some like social contrast here, okay? If you haven't noticed, like Tel Aviv will have like gay pride parades and shit with like rainbow Star of David flags, okay? There's also like Orthodox Jews that will fucking stab those people, okay? That is a pretty stark contrast between those two things, okay? So that exists because they're not consolidated yet, and because Israel is a materialistic state, whereas actual Israel is not. I mean, I believe that Israel is not a physical thing, but the Jews are going to go back there, return from the exile, and they're going to have redemption. This is like in Judaism. This is like what Judaism is, and that's what they waiting on this whole motherfucking time. So like, all the shit that's gone on and all of our recorded history is all just like Jews waiting to fucking get back there. So the Jews, like Jews that are living in Israel and shit, if they're really pious and Orthodox, they don't view it as like they're there as a citizen. They view it like they're there visiting as like to have spiritual presence. They don't, you see what I'm saying? But then there are Jews, like there's atheist Jews that don't believe in God, that live in fucking Israel, and they're just like, just like anybody going to the discotheque and shit. Like it could fucking matter at all if it was Israel or New York. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how. Now I'm going to tell you how this is complex. I'm going to tell you how it's simple. So it's complex in that there are a lot of different types of Jews with all kinds of different whatever, right? It is simple in that when, like, the end state of Judaism is the same for everybody, okay, for like all the Jews. So even though they might not like how it gets there or whatever, how it's going now, and they don't want to participate in it because it's obviously, I'm going to say this is Dugan's opinion. This is not Jew's opinion. What I'm about to say now, the only thing that between all the different gods that anybody's ever worshipped in history, the only fucking common factor between them is absolute truth. The way that Israel has been built is with deceit. So you can, I'm not like a fucking master puzzle guy, but you can fucking figure that shit out yourself. Okay. Don't read the comments. Okay, good idea. I like your style. Okay. Now, what else do we need to understand here? What else do we need to understand? What else do we need to understand? No, I'm not reading a fucking comment. Just put a new comment on there. What do you, I want to say something to Christians, okay? I do not want to tell you. I am not telling you that like you should. I am not making any kind of judgment on religion, okay? When I say this, I'm telling you this is what Anybody that's a Christian is going to get decapitated after this happens, okay? I just want you to understand that. The path, what's the path to the goal of the Zionists? Well, they're gonna have like okay, so I guess we got to talk about the Mashiach. I guess we got to talk about the Mashiach, or what Jews may think about the Mashiach, may not. You guys, can we clean up the comments and just kind of like, I'm trying to like read where you're at and stuff, and you guys are all over the fucking place, and it's making me all over the place. Yeah, okay. Scott Span has been very kind to me, participating in these comments and stuff and messages, and I really appreciate it because it's helping to stay on track. And he's doing so again. And he's saying, is this the happening within 10 years that you spoke about? It is. So you basically got 200 and something years until a culmination of 6,000 years. Because of the mathematics of like blocks that are like absolute, like in Judaism, it narrows it down approximately. It's not fucking exact. I'm sure I'm fucking wrong. I'm sure there's an entire fucking blockbuster line of rabbis that could line up and tell me, for months how I'm wrong. Okay. But there is approximately 10 years until this bitch is getting flipped upside down. Okay. Like no matter what. And it's going to happen no matter what. Even if you're an atheist, if you're in here and you're an atheist and you're listening to me and you're like, Dugan's a fucking Jew and fucking, I don't even believe in God. And so like, he's an idiot. And I'm not even listening to shit he says. I'm trying to tell you that motherfucking the fucking banking institution that fucking subverted your schools to turn you into fucking atheists from your background from Christianity built fucking Israel and is going to fucking pop a Mashiach up your ass. That is probably not the real Mashiach. So, religious or not, you got a fucking Mashiach coming and you better fucking wake the fuck up. Okay. And if you didn't notice it, the news is fucking running articles about UFOs. Okay. If you don't recall this, the first half of the second half of the 20th century, the news media spent all their time talking about how there weren't UFOs. Okay. And now they're just trying to fucking convince you that there are UFOs. So what that probably means is that there's some fucking high-speed aircraft that, is like Rothschild funded and shit. And they're going to fucking unleash it on you for this war. Every world war has the introduction of high-speed new weapons that are fucking devastating. The weapons that you're going to see in this new war are going to consist of certain things that I know that are going to be there because it's going to happen. And there's going to be some other shit that's just like going to be some fucking magic voodoo shit that I don't even know what it is. But we're all going to fucking find out. But yeah, you're going to have lasers. Okay. So you're going to have lasers that are in spectrums that the human eye can't see. And you should be aware. Now, when I'm saying that, I'm saying like the range of 700 nanometers to like 1200 nanometers in wavelength. Okay. These are going to be high powered lasers that are both man portable, like a gun, and they're going to have shit that's like mounted on trucks and aircraft and shit. These lasers, depending on the atmospheric conditions, are going to fucking be combat effective out to like miles. So they can burst your cornea and destroy your retina and your fucking nerve, all three, depending on the wavelength and exposure time and intensity, and you will be blind. Okay, I think realistically, I think it's like I think a minimum. It's not like just like boop, and then you're blind, but it's pretty fucking short. It's like probably like now you're blind. Okay, so we're talking like half second. Okay. Yeah, there's already lasers. We had lasers in the army. They're just not as advanced as the shit that's out there now. Nowadays, it's like fucking killer fucking lasers. Everybody thinks they have the power right now, but they don't. But so for lasers, you are going to see laser introduction in this next war, which is going to be very devastating. And the reason being why is that in war, I'm talking like from a materialistic nation state perspective that doesn't give a fuck about value of human life. if you're a nation state and you're in war, like you ideally want either everybody to die that gets, engaged, or you want them to like, get very lightly wounded and then just recover. Okay. You don't want people fucking like needing other people to take care of them for the rest of your life. Cause if you send in like a quarter of your society to fight a war and they all got to be taken care of for the rest of your life, then that's now, 2/3 of your society that's, until that generation passes is fucking engaged in taking care of them. Okay. With these lasers that's coming out, I don't know how long I'm going. I don't know how I'm going this long. I was taking a nap on the couch earlier. I'm just barely getting by here. The beer's helping. Okay. These lasers are going to, break our shit. And China's definitely got them. Like China's been going like all in with the lasers, because China's isn't even, they look at like the the rule of war international laws that we've written, and they like, fucking roll that shit up and then fucking cook a baby and have a baby shish kebab. You know what I mean? Like they don't give a fuck about any of this international shit. They're just like, how do we get the most powerful laser with the most, range and shit, like that's it. They don't care about any shit. So they've been like the whole time that we've been like, having to develop lasers secret and shit. China's just got people like making like weaponized lasers like out on the floor in the lab and just like, let's go on the parking lot and shoot it and see how good it is, And so they're like pretty advanced in it. Okay. A lot of the CCD technology and shit that we get is from China. So like night, not analog night vision, like L3 tubes and shit. That's not China, but like, color night vision and shit, like the X series fucking chips and shit. That's like Chinese. The government. So yeah, they've got dues. Yeah, they've got fucking dues. Are they starting California fires with dues? How do you know that? I got it. Garrett Schroeder, I'm not trying to call you out, okay? I'm just trying to get us some truth here. Derek Schroeder said they are already using dues to start the California fires. I don't doubt you. I'm saying, how do you know that? Did you fucking see them doing that or what? Yeah, I've heard the theory too. I'm just wondering, like, I just want to verify this is something that somebody read on a blog or what. Okay. All right. So you're gonna have lasers, and they're gonna be fucking bad. Now let me tell you something about lasers. You guys need to fucking pay attention to this part because this is tactical. This is like for your family, like to protect your family from lasers. Okay. So everybody, if you could please pay attention, I'm going to try to tell you something. Okay. Lasers are kind of counterintuitive. Okay. So like if let's say that you're in your house with a rifle with an optic on it. Okay. And then you're like defending your perimeter because there's just bad shit going on inside and you're scared and you want to protect your family. Okay. If you were looking through a scope and somebody hits you with a fucking IR laser, it will go through the scope and it will fucking direct it directly in your fucking pupil, even if they hit it at an off angle. Okay. So it's extremely dangerous to look through fucking optics when lasers are going on. Okay. Because it's going to redirect because of the way that optics math works with like an eye box and shit. Somebody can laser wind, like if you're aiming out of the window. Yeah. It will fucking blind you. Yes. These lasers that we're talking about are like, it's not just going to blind you. It's going to destroy all 3 layers of your eye, like fried, like a fucking microwave. And then it's going to like, if it's powerful enough and close enough range, like you're going to have a sensation of popping because it's going to cook like it's going to like separate the fucking cornea and shit from your eye. Okay. So when you're, so yeah, it's fucked up shit. Yeah. So when you're aiming, so like if something happens, right? Like if you start hearing about like lasers and shit, and this is just a fictitious scenario. I'm just throwing this out here as an example. If you're in California or something like that, and the fucking Chinese are fucking over here invading, like if you're in your house and you're like, fuck, I'm scared for my family, so I'm just gonna prop up here on the window, and then you know that there's fucking like active lasers in the area, like you need to be careful because if they laser your window and it hits your objective lens of your optic, It's gonna fucking reflect all that into a linear path through the fucking ocular lens, which is the one that you're looking through with your fucking eyeball, and it's gonna shoot out like a straight beam in your eye like a laser. Like your optic is gonna make like a pseudo laser out of a fucking off angle attack with a laser. Because I fucking read and shit. So okay, but you should just be aware of this. Okay, you can get laser glasses. They're very expensive if you get good ones. They're gonna be like $200. But you should, if you're gonna get laser protective glasses, you should be buying stuff that's protective in the range of 700 to 1200 nanometers, if possible, in that range. Okay. Yeah, I don't fear death. No. I died in Iraq. Okay. I'm just like a fucking ghost walking around here. So the okay, yeah, 712. Now you're not gonna find, like, I mean, shit that you find is gonna be more specific. It's gonna be like 800 to 10 or whatever, but that's like the range. That's like the range that these lasers are operating in. Sorry, Abe. I know I'm not staying on track. Okay, so what else are they gonna do? You're gonna have shit like, you're gonna have fucking, like, forget RPGs. RPGs are going away. I mean, you'll see them in the Middle East and shit and around the Eastern Bloc countries because they're cheap and they're mass produced. But you're gonna see shit like, you're gonna start seeing like fucking like, have you heard about like Iraq, how they have the drones like dropping explosives and shit? It's based off of like the Predator drones, but it's like a shitty low tech version. So it's not that. I'm talking about like fixed wing explosive body drones. So you're gonna start seeing like little fucking like wing drones and shit where the body of them is the fucking explosive and just flies into your window or whatever, fucking detonates and kills everybody inside with high explosives. Okay. You start seeing shit like that with like FPV. Like there's somebody on the other end of that wearing a pair of goggles, like in the bushes, like flying that shit around. They're just gonna fly in your window and fucking blow you up. Okay. That's something you need to know about. All right. But you're gonna see that. You're gonna see what else? What else will you see? Yeah, thank you, Ryder. I don't know. Anybody got any other weapons that you know about? Any spooks in here? Any fucking DARPA spooks or some shit that like know the fucking shit that's gonna be killing American citizens, so we can protect these guys? I'm not gonna give you philosophical shit like that. Yeah, there are microwave guns. That shit's all classified. I just know they exist because I like heard about it. There's like both satellite sensor stuff and there's in microwave, and there's also microwave like weapons. Yeah, satellites are already weaponized. Some of them. That's like classified shit. I'm not violating anything by saying that because I heard it secondhand. I didn't sign any fucking NDA or anything. Okay. There was some other comment that just gave me an idea that, boy, I want to say and I forgot. Yeah, there's drone swarms, if you didn't know that. So drone swarms, there's so for instance, like a drone swarm, the way that you'll see drone swarm, right, is, for instance, a guy can program an algorithm into his flight controller where he has a like a master drone that he's flying, like it's a single drone, and then he has like a computer, and the computer is going to set up his algorithm for whatever pattern formation he wants, and all the other drones are going to be slave to the master. So he's just going to fly one drone, but you know, if he puts them in a dick shape or whatever and flies them around, they're just going to stay like that no matter what. And like if he flips his fucking drone around, you're going to see a fucking dick flipping around in the air, dick shape. Okay, that's how fucking swarms work. Okay, so the swarms, now this is not autonomous. I'm not even talking autonomous yet. I'm just talking about like slave drones. So the way that slave drones works is that you can mic a building, right? So you mic a building with like Google Maps, you know, which is retarded. Like I can't tell you how many, you know, like Iraqi mortarmen were killed and then they pull a fucking Google map out of their pocket. But so the slave drones, you can mic a building like a perimeter, you know what I mean, like length times width, right? And then you just send it out there, and then you can like drop thermite and just like melt a building with no fucking noise, you know, like shit like that. Okay. Yeah, DARPA is fucked up. Yeah, DARPA's totally fucked up. Okay, I want to show you guys. I want to read something now because we're kind of burning out here, and I want to shift direction so we can keep this interesting but also relevant, right? Like I want this to be relevant for people. So I want to read. Did you guys read that article that I said earlier, where it's like Slate, and it was an article. We're talking about DNA collection here. We're talking about seroprevalence serology tests that are rolling out now in the United States after infection peak is done, with coordination with the media. So the media, if you didn't know this, is not real. It's a fucking propaganda arm. The coordinating entity that is the government entity for the United States that presumably coordinates this shit. I wouldn't fucking know because I'm not there. But as far as I can tell, it would be like the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which used to be called the Bureau of Broadcasting Governors. Okay. And that's got like, you know, I think it's got like Secretary of State in it or something like that. It's like the cabinet go-between. But it's not the government. It's not elected, and it's not the U.S. government. They got one cabinet member in there, so they're like, look, we work with the government. It's not U.S. government. It's fucking foreign government. They don't have U.S. interests, and they are fucking running a train on you people, on your sanity, because they are the ones that are choosing how wild your news is, and ridiculous, and fucking dramatically immoral in contrast to this. So I'm on the Slate right now, and I'm looking for an article, and it's called. That article would be called. Can somebody help me? Who had that? Did anybody here read that? Oh, I'm sorry about the birds. They're fucking loud. I'm keeping them up. Can somebody tell me about the Slate article? What the title of that was? Did anybody read that? Hateful? Who's hateful? I'm not hateful. They have water. They have an entire watering system set up. They're just all fired up. They're little birds. They're brand new. They just got born like 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. I was just confused. I didn't know. Oh, I appreciate you not calling me hateful. I would be confused as soon as saying that. I just wanted to clarify that. As soon as I thought that. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find the name of this article from the Slate so that you guys can find it and read along with me. We're going to read it. Oh, here we go. Double plus ungood got the title. It's called I kind of regret getting an antibody test. Okay, we're gonna go look at this and we're gonna see how fucked up your media is. I kind of regret. This is from today. Regret how fucked up, or no. I kind of regret getting an antibody test. I literally started writing in how fucked up. Not wanting to be tested. Who wants to be? Do you want to be tested, Nubbles? Is that like a sarcastic comment or? Okay, I'm going to read this. All right, this is from Slate. This is from an author named Shannon Palus, Palus. Title is I kind of regret getting an antibody test. It was easy to get one. It was difficult to take any meaning from it. So she's like assuming the psychology of a dumb, normal person that doesn't know what the fuck is going on is just like a cattle walking into the fucking kill box shoot and is like looking for candy and they're about to find a fucking pneumatic fucking stun gun going through their skull. It's easy to get a test for the novel coronavirus these days. Okay, that first sentence, I want you to hear that again. it's easy to get a test for the novel coronavirus these days. Now, I want to tell you something. If you got any spooks in here, I guess we did have some spooks in here. They'd probably be too think themselves too clever to even say it, but they're not that clever. But so if you're not familiar with this, the word novel is like a fucking yuppie word for like the only people that use the word novel in government are people that are like introducing white papers. So anytime that you're reading anything like the coronavirus for the US population is completely new. Like there's nobody that was like, well, except for people that fuck with dogs and stuff and know about the dog coronavirus. But like regular fucking like, I'm just going to work and getting a Subway sandwich and going home and going to fucking sleep. People do not, coronavirus is like, whoa, what the fuck is that? When this shit started in the United States. So there is no need to write novel on there. So this author, right away, I'm telling you, this is the way it is. Shannon Paulus automatically, like, I know this chick is at least, she's either spook or she's getting fucking, like, reading an email and she's just sloppy and doesn't, like, think about how to change the fucking language so she doesn't give away who this is. DARPA uses the term novel all the fucking time. Like, every fucking white paper in DARPA is like, a novel fucking bullshit thing. Here you go. I mean, this is fucking sloppy bullshit. This sucks. Yeah, I would fucking fire this chick if I was her spook boss. So it's easy to test. It's easy to get a test for the novel coronavirus these days. At least one kind, an antibody test. Okay, so right there, that's the setup. The antibody test. We're talking about a test that is using a blood sample as opposed to like a nose swab or a throat swab. Okay, antibody test is a blood test. They're going to look for presence of reaction in your antibodies to the introduction of a virus, which basically is a way of saying that, let's read some more and we'll get into it. This one essentially looks to see if the virus has left its mark in your bloodstream, evidence of a past infection, okay? This one essentially looks to see if the virus has left a mark in your bloodstream, evidence of a past infection. So right there, that this is not about, you should understand that these serology tests, which is what this is not about helping you to figure out if you have coronavirus. This is like if the virus has been introduced into you in the past and you just didn't even know. You're just so fucking sick all the time because you're eating, fucking Taco Bell that you're just in a sickly state all the time. So you get coronavirus. Like it's like nobody, that's a fucking Tuesday, right? A couple of weeks ago, antibody tests were newfangled and hard to find. I love this part. This is my favorite part of the article, okay? A couple of weeks ago, antibody tests were newfangled and hard to find. Quote, I know a guy, Juggernaut Tech commenter Kara Swisher, let you take two fucking guesses where that last name comes from, wrote in the New York Times on April 15th to explain how she got her hands on one. So this author is literally talking about the fucking serology test is like it's the new fucking iPhone. Like, like a couple of weeks ago, nobody could get a fucking serology test. Like, we want that shit, we want that shit. I've been listening to fucking new Drake. Drake's talking about serology tests. I want to get that shit. Hey, I know a guy. This is ridiculous. There were rumors on my local next door group where Governor Andrew Cuomo's, I don't even know how to pronounce that, statewide testing would be taking place. For a couple of random days in late April, it was a local grocery store. People scrambled. They fucking they crawled across the floor like fucking animals that were blind to stand in a long socially distanced line. Social distance. There's your second one, okay? So a couple things that you should know about government programs, like government, like fuck you up program, like fuck you Constitution programs that the government does. Number one, if they're trying to hide it like it's not, you're gonna know if they're using fucking acronyms all over the place. So anytime then that's not this case. I thought of it when I was reading this. So anytime that you're reading shit and there's just fucking acronyms all over the place, and you can't even read the article, it's because it's a fucking government program. People scramble to stand in a long socially distanced line before the test ran out for the day. So not she said she's like people are scrambling like panicked to just be able to like quench this thing in their fucking midst, and they're standing in long lines agonizingly waiting, but the line is socially distanced, so I have social distancing, so it's okay, like this line is kosher, you're good. So social distancing, when you hear that word, you should automatically fucking know that this is like some fucking Facebook people, right? Because Facebook uses words like that. So this is probably Google is most likely, because Google came out with the cure, like if you get shot from the corner of a building and you like, fuck, I got shot, I'm dying. And then you look around, there's nobody in front, it's just fields everywhere. And then fucking some guy comes walking in the corner, he's the only one there. I don't know. It might be the fucking guy that shot you, you fucking idiots. It was a local grocery store. People scrambled to stand with a long, socially distanced line. All right. I'm going to stop stopping so much. Now antibody tests are widely available. You don't have to make an appointment with your doctor, nor do you have to have a bona fide COVID scare to get one. You don't have to even, what she just said is that you can just get one and it doesn't have to fucking anything to do with COVID-19. This is outrageous. They're at Quickie medical centers across America. City MD, that's some trader organization that's going to fucking sterilize you. Started offering them last week. Go Health, that's some, this is like world government. Urgent Care announced that it would be performing them as of Tuesday, available for people to check if they had been exposed to the virus, quote, whether or not you experience symptoms. Oh, that was the end of the sentence. Sorry, I'm stupid. So this quote, they're saying whether or not you experience symptoms. So this is the CDC's serology surveillance seroprevalence program. The CDC is directly offering the program, but they're also working with the United States government through the DHHS and probably like a million other ones that we don't even know exist, to fucking implant this shit into all of your local hospitals and shit that normal people work at, like this dumbass City MD and dumbass Go Health Urgent Care. Those are like real hospitals, right? That are like serving people in a locality. What happened was when 9/11 happened, first they started the grant programs like NIMS and shit, and they got all these motherfuckers addicted to fucking federal money. The U.S. Constitution is designed to have a balance of power and a separation of power. 9/11 is what the fucking dagger that separated that. Okay, this is the outcome. Like, it's just gonna get worse from here. Okay, it started off with PD and like police and shit. It's gone into like everybody that's on the government tip. So these people practically don't have any fucking choice but to take this. Like, you are getting a program from an entity that basically like stole the government, is LARPing as the government, and they are using your tax dollars and forcing your local places to take their fucking tests. And you're supposed to go take them whether or not you experience symptoms. But they're not saying that you have to because they can't find any legal justification for that. So they're not going to say that yet. They're just trying to like swindle you to make you feel like, you're going to fucking be fulfilled if you get fucking tested for COVID-19. Like you're going to find, like you're going to be, like everything in your life is just going to be fucking satiated if you just go get your fucking blood stolen and sent off to, and don't think about it ever again. Just send it off and then go buy, fill up your credit card. All right. You'll need to go somewhere in person to get the blood draw. On Monday, I myself put some things in a purse. Thrilling. Okay. She's thrilling at this point. She's like this girl thinks about this author. Basically, it's like analogous to like, like she could be going to like meet the love of her life and like they're going to make love, but it's fine. She's going to get a COVID-19 test. That's thrilling too. And headed around the corner to a local City MD to get one. I got in line outside behind one other person, and a few minutes later was ushered in. I checked myself in at the touchscreen kiosk because we're, technology and shit. That's good, right? Like the more money you spend in technology, that's the equivalent of morality and ethic. Okay. So like, if you didn't know that, if you weren't aware, like, if you're ever like wondering if something is moral or ethic, just look at how many fucking dollars it costs, and then you fucking good to go. All right, this chair is reserved for social distancing. Oh fuck, I don't know if I can finish this fucking article. I wanted to ask other people why they were there, but I also didn't want to open my mouth to talk or force anyone to open their mouths to talk to me. We were, of course, wearing masks. uh, fuck, you guys. But I'm actually aware that masks are imperfect. So they're imperfect, so you should go get a fucking test. As is the test I was there to take. Antibody tests are right now a tool for scientists and politicians to get a grip. Look, people, we're just trying to get a grip with what's going on. If you just turn in all your fucking guns and just get a grip, let's get a grip, then, let's get a grip on your guns and your children, then you're, you be having, I'm not going to say it. But for one individual, they just aren't accurate enough to really tell you much at all. They won't allow you to go back to work or visit a friend worry-free. And though I live in the national epicenter of the pandemic, I haven't even been sick lately. But I can't help but want the data point. Also, my editor asked if I would do this. Oh, shit. So you guys, do you understand what's going on here? Like, this woman has just lied. First of all, she's incredibly deceitful. And she's bad at it too. She's not even fucking talented at being deceitful. She's like the bottom tier of deceit. But she's basically saying, that like you should go get the test with little, like, regardless if you have any danger of exposure or not. And like, you're gonna be a little confused when you go get it because nobody knows what the fuck these are for. That is what this lady is saying. If you didn't catch that, okay? Like she is saying, don't worry when you get there and you have no fucking clue what's going on, and neither does anybody else. They're just all fucking Pez dispensers with mouths that have words coming out, and they're just gonna hand you a fucking COVID-19 test and they don't fucking know what it is, and then they're gonna send it off for you. Here's how getting by an AA test goes. A nurse calls me back and does the usual. Asks for height and weight, takes my blood pressure. She asks if I've been sick. And I tell her I was coughing a lot back in February. But that was a long fucking time ago. So it's probably not today because today's later. I don't know. Is that how that works with time? This is enough. She puts some needles on a tray for the blood draw, then leaves. With all the fanfare of routine STD tests, because you're all fucking hedonist fucking, you're all like you're all going to black.com and watching fucking interracial gangbang porn on your, like, oh, Jesus Christ. All right. With all the fanfare of a routine STD, a doctor comes in a few minutes later, asks the question about if I was sick again, then starts picking up the materials on the tray to get tested. They're doing lots of these tests now. Yes, he tells me. It takes forever for the needle to go in, as it always does. I worry that I will pass out, as has happened in the past with me and needles, especially now that it's dawning on me that I came to a health center where there are sick people in the middle of a pandemic. That's the most fucking poignant fucking thing that she said this entire time, is coming to the catharsis that she's sitting in the middle of a fucking room that's had a bunch of sick people in it. Which, by the way, is exactly, if you're not familiar with like the Spanish flu of 1914, it fucking infected 500 million people, okay? It was at the end of World War I, and it killed 50 million people. So if you don't know how many 50 million people are, that's a shitload of fucking people. But the way that it got so bad was because in the front line, it had two waves, right? Actually, the first cases in the United States were in Kansas. The Spanish flu, or it would be in 1918, 1919 were the two waves. All right, so Spanish flu, it came around one time. It only killed a few people. It freaked everybody out. They started, like, in the civilian sector, like in the gin pop of our version of Auschwitz here that we got for the United States. The fucking shit like went all around, and everybody started reacting and changing shit, right? Like changing. They implemented changes, and a bunch of people died this first wave, but it wasn't like as much as the second wave, which we're going to talk about. But the fucking shit went all over the place, and they implemented changes, and they never closed any schools and they never closed any religious institutions. So even though this COVID-19 now is like a fucking Girl Scout camp compared to the Spanish flu, this is, they didn't even go as far as they're going now, right? Like the amount of people that have died. I mean, people die. People probably die from like ant bites as much as the fucking COVID-19 is taking out. And they're going farther than the Spanish flu, which fucking killed 50 million people. Okay, the second time the Spanish flu came through, it fucking ripped people, like it fucking ripped through this motherfucker. So the way that it did that is because it when it was in Europe, right? Like how do I put this? In the United States, because they implemented light control measures and everyone went outside. That was the big thing. They're like, everybody go outside fresh air. They were all in fresh air. So like everybody's just outside and they were fine. It dissipated, right? In Europe, when people got sick, they were like, whoa, we don't want you fucking up our boys. Let's stick you in a fucking room with all of the other sick boys. And then you just had like the most badass of the fucking flu, like, you know, spinning around, getting more and more crazy. And then it just shot back into the United States and it fucking killed everybody. I mean, it killed the reason they call the Spanish flu, if you didn't know this, is not because it started in Kansas. It never started in Spain, or it started in Kansas or China. They're not sure, but the first case, like the first American cases of sickness, were in Kansas. The reason that's called the Spanish flu is because in World War I, because the war was currently active and wasn't over, and they sure as fuck didn't want to let Germany fucking get an upper hand, you know, after they fucked them that hard. So in the media, they wouldn't tell anybody about the deaths for any country except Spain, because Spain was neutral. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Gerald Darden knows what I'm fucking talking about. So they just focused on Spain and tried to use it as a like microcosm of the worldwide issue. That didn't work because it just made people think that it was just in Spain. So the result of that is that people didn't take as many protective measures, and then because of the government's like selfish, you know, fucking enslavement to this, what's going on now in its infancy back then in World War I, that was in its infancy. Because of that, fucking millions of people died all over the planet. Okay, so just think about that for a second. These are the same people now that did that want you to go fucking give your fucking blood sample for no fucking reason. They don't even give you, at least make up a fucking reason that's logical. You know what I mean? Like at least say like yeah, COVID-19's passed, but we're worried that maybe people are retarded or something, so we just want to check to make sure there's some of your blood. You know what I mean? Like at least make up some fucking. Alex Jones is not that amazing, I don't think, in my opinion, personally. Yeah, Alex Jones, if you didn't know that, Alex Jones' entire radio station is run by Jews. Just so that you know that. They're under a corporation in California that's registered under a registered agents that's Jews. The staff is all Jews, and it's called Free Speech Systems LLC. Just so you know. Okay. So we're going back to the article now. We're finishing up the article. We're going to wrap it up here. Okay, guys? Unless you have something fucking profound that's going to help people like be who they are or something. I don't know. Okay. I came to the health center. Okay. I'm going to read this one again because it's so good. I worry that I will pass out, as has happened in the past with me and needles, especially now that it's dawning on me that I came to a health center where there are sick motherfucking people everywhere in the middle of the pandemic. Pretty smart gal. But then it's over and the doctor is moving toward the door. It wasn't that bad. Just let it happen. The results will be ready in 3 to 5 days. Maybe in a few months, they will be useful, these things. But maybe we'll also send them off to a fucking data collection agency, and then we'll fucking reintroduce a virus that's designed off of their signature so that you can never fucking reproduce again, because your distant cousins actually believe in the Constitution and fucking read that shit once or twice. And they might have an issue with a fucking communist takeover of the United States, potentially. So we're just going to fucking sterilize all of you. I mean, oh, fuck me. I'm not going to read the rest of it. I think you guys get the fucking point, right? Nothing's over. Nothing's fucking over. Never give up on anything. Even if you're doing this shit, even if you're the one that's doing this fucking COVID-19 shit, and you're in on it, and you're a shithead, even if that's you and you're getting kind of like, maybe that's you and you're watching this video, you're like, I don't know, those Dugan guys like pretty fucking savant. Like, is he like accessing my fucking brain while I'm sleeping, like cutting over my head and getting taking pictures and shit? Even if that's you, you should not give up. Okay? People that aren't doing fucked up shit should not give up. You should look at this as a test. You should look at this as a time to be who you are. Like, for example, I am up here making raving lunatic videos. Okay? You guys understand that, like, I am not going to be getting any fucking Patagonia deals here anytime for the rest of my breathing life. Okay? Like, people like the fucking government does not like this shit when people tell you this shit. Okay? So, like, I am not doing this because I'm getting paid or because of any reason other than I think that people are going to get hurt and killed, and I know it, and I know that people are dumb. So I'm like just trying to fucking help you guys. That's it. That's it. That's all that I'm trying to do. Okay? And I would like it. I'll tell you what, if you're the fucking guy that's in charge of all this shit that's going on right now, I need to be accountable myself and ask you, take the opportunity, and just in case, because it's a 1 in like 8 billion chance that the person who is responsible for all this fucking shit with their hands is sitting in this chat right now. I would like to ask you humbly if you would please stop this. Please stop doing this to people, and please go another way. There's another way to do all this shit. That whatever you're trying to do, there's a way that you can do this that is logical and coherent, and not this way, because this is going to be so ugly. Okay. I just wanted to take that chance, right? Like, I know that you, even if you were here, you would probably look me in the eyes through this video and you would see me, you would think that I was an evil person, probably. I don't know. I don't want to judge you. I don't want to make judgments for you. All right. I want to be humble enough to take the opportunity to ask you to please stop. In case, in the radical chance that you would somehow listen to me, would you please stop, please? This is not what we're here for. Okay? Humanity. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. So I'm not saying, when I'm talking about me and I'm saying that I'm in here doing these streams and it's a sacrifice, I am not putting myself up here as like a martyr or anything special. Okay. Like, I am fucking insignificant. I am not going to matter when this shit kicks off. You get that? Like, I'm going to fucking die in this shit for sure. So and I appreciate your appreciation, but what I want you to do is to reflect that upon yourself and realize that, like, things that are good require, in a world of deceit, if you want to follow truth, you're going to have to do a little bit of uncomfortable work. Okay. And I'm trying to kick the ball off here so that you guys can run with it. Can you guys please help me, like, wake America up so that, I'm not going to go over fucking MK Ultra. It's insignificant, in my opinion. Thank you all. To anybody that will help me spread this information, I very much appreciate it. I promise you that if, okay, like, let's say that I was completely insane and like none of this is happening. This is what's happening. But let's just hypothetically, I was completely insane. And the worst case scenario is that, you just kind of shore up your defenses a little bit. Like, maybe some politicians would hear it and they would go like, well, maybe we shouldn't just fucking give DNA out like it's fucking a breath mint in a fucking doctor's office, like that's the worst that could possibly happen. Okay? If you fuck this up, or if we, okay, I'm going to include myself. If we fuck this up, there are going to be, I don't know who it's going to be. I'm guessing it's certain phenotypes of European people, I'm assuming. They're not going to be able to reproduce and they're going to disappear off the face of the fucking earth. Okay? You get that? Like, your children, if you fuck this up, your children are going to fucking never enjoy the opportunity to learn why they're here. Okay? And they're just going to fucking disappear. All right? You need to listen to me. I'm not fucking bullshitting you, okay? This is not It, you think it's easy for me to get up here and make these fucking videos? Like, you know how many people are watching this shit that are like materialistic and shit and will never understand this and are looking at it and like wondering why I'm so insane? I'm doing this because I'm trying to fucking warn you and help you. I love you guys too. We need, okay, this is what we need to do. I need some politicians. I'm assuming that these fucking COVID tests that these assholes are doing is in California. It might be in New York too. This is what I need. It is Friday night. I need you guys. If you want to help me, you shouldn't think of it like helping me because I am not going to fucking lead you. You are going to lead yourselves. I need you before you become so apathetic that you just sit around and wait until it's time to we're just canoeing everybody and everybody's fucking dying and it's terrible. Maybe like put a little bit of effort and forethought before we get to that point and let's just try something that's a little bit uncomfortable and figure out between you all how to get a hold of whoever if it's California, it's gonna be tough because they're pretty much like, I mean, let's face it, like you know what California is, right? So we need somebody that's somehow got some kind of legal autonomy in California to launch an investigation of this shit and to fucking figure out and get a record, like a public record. They don't have to stop it. Like maybe they won't stop the fucking tests, but maybe at least they can keep the records from getting destroyed. So there's like a historical record at least of how you got fucking wiped on the planet. Okay. Ideally, you would find somebody that has some balls, like a sheriff. This is how it would work in the Constitution. I don't know how California is. I guarantee you that's not constitutional. However it's said, it's probably fucking. California is like fucking Moscow 1918. Okay, but the way that you're gonna fucking get the shit is you're gonna find out. We need to find out where the CDC is sending their samples and where these private entities like this lady is talking about this fucking dumbass article she wrote. We need to figure out where the fuck she's talking about sending them. So maybe you figure out where it goes by acting exactly like she is. Like maybe you guys call around in your area and be like, I just need, like I don't believe in God, but now I believe in God, and I think it's in this fucking COVID-19 test. And I need to get it. Like, how do I get fulfilled? And just fucking trick them. And then they're gonna be if you the more that you say that you love the test, the more they're gonna want to talk about it because they basically it's like you're stuffing $100 bill in their mouth every time that you like talk about how you love fucking COVID-19. Essentially, they're too dumb to know that, but their fucking animal brain knows that, so they're just automatically gonna get like satiated and like comfortable and defenseless when you start like talking about how many fucking COVID-19 tests are gonna show up your ass. So you you do this they're gonna fucking tell you where they're gonna start talking to you and shit, and then you're gonna figure out where they send the motherfuckers. Okay, it's gonna be some place that's in California. It's probably gonna be a super weird place. You just need to get the address. Okay, once you got that shit, then we need to get somebody who is not a communist that actually has a soul and principles and is not like enslaved to money and still follows the fucking law. And they have to have some kind of jurisdiction where that fucking building is that all this shit is. Okay, even if it's data, it might just be data. Like they might get rid of the test and just do a sequencing on the fucking test and just keep the paper or whatever. And so it's in an email or server. You need to get that shit and secure that shit legally, not like illegally. Okay. Did anybody get that? I just fucking talked like 10 minutes straight without breathing. Yeah, no. There are ethnic bioweapons, okay? So ethnic bioweapons, which are weapons that are specifically designed to attack specific, it's phenotypes. They're attacking phenotypes. So it's the DNA, right? So if you have certain phenotypical combinations in your genes, right? Like they're gonna attack it, right? It's gonna be designed to attack it. Okay. The we know that this is going the modest goal of it, like on the modest side, it could go all the way to like shit that's like, oh, you get sick and then your fucking face melts off. Like, I don't know. But on the modest side, we know that this is for sterilization. And the reason why is because all of the historical record of any discussion of COVID-19 has to do with, number one, it has to do with Jews, and it has to do with like governmental Jews that would have shit to talk about, and not sound bad shit when they're talking about ethnic bioweapons. So it's like Israeli government and Israeli intelligence is posing as journalists in Israel, like writing articles and shit. And then it's like American, like there's like a senator named Cohen. If you don't know what the last name Cohen is, you might want to do some research. But uh, he specifically talks about he's like on Senate record trying to warn Congress about the threat of an ethnic bioweapon that would sterilize populations. And this is like since like the late 80s. So you have like 80s, 90s, 2000, 2020. Like they have 40 fucking years to make this shit. They've already made it. They're just finishing up. They're trying to figure out right now. They have the ethnic bioweapon. They're trying to figure out how to not kill their own people. All right, that's what this is about. All right. Secondly, Russia in the past decade has put an entire government crackdown on any DNA sample, collection from any NGO. Like if it's not fucking Putin pulling your fucking blood in Russia, then you're not doing it, because they don't. There was a bunch of U.S. CIA fronts outside of Russia that got set up that were fucking like paying these poor, ethnic groups around Russia to fucking get their blood. And that's why they built the whole fucking thing there, so they could catalog Russian blood for all their minority groups and shit. Okay, so Russia already fucking axed this shit. If Russia does it, I mean, I don't know what the fuck we're doing over here, but we're retarded apparently. But well, no, I'll tell you what it is. It's not that we're retarded; it's that we're in on it. Like, it's okay. The reason that Pompeo calls Trump a modern day Queen Esther is if you're not familiar with the Book of Esther, if you never read the Bible or anything, the Book of Esther is about a queen that pretends to not be Jewish, and she's Jewish, and then she discovers a plot to kill the Jews, and she plays along with the plot, and she fucking kills all of fucking Amon's, like Amon and his men and his fucking sons and shit, and fucking hangs them all like all in one day. So it's just like a fucking death blossom gore fest, right? And this is like the Book of Esther. Okay, so when Pompeo, if you're a dummy, when what I'm saying is that when Pompeo says that Trump is from the Book of Esther and the Christians are reading it and they're like, fucking, you're an idiot. Pompeo is saying that Trump is going to betray the United States. That's what he's saying. You don't understand what happened. Okay. That Mike Pompeo is so fucking haughty that he will go on, and the news media is so fucking haughty. They think that you as American citizens are so dumb that they can fucking say that they're going to betray you years ahead of time and nobody's even going to notice or understand. And they're probably right, because nobody fucking did anything. Who's better than Biden? Who the fuck is this that's telling me to talk to a psychiatrist? IBM 322. I am not going to go talk to a psychiatrist. Do you understand that? Let me tell you something. I have MS. I have to go do cognitive testing through the VA because it's fucking communist, and that's like just the fucking way it is. When I go talk to a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist talks to me, motherfucker. Okay? I shit you fucking not. I'm not going to a psychiatrist. There is no psychiatry. Like, I don't even believe in fucking psychiatry. Okay? Get the fuck. I mean, come on. Are you guys just fucking walking here right now? Or what? Did you just like come out of a fucking black.com porn movie theater where you were, and then just like turn the corner and fucking walk in here on your phone and had no idea I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to be too hard on you. That's probably way too hard. But shit, man. I'm serious. The last time I was in the I want to be humble, so I'm not gonna tell a story. But okay, how do I say this? The last time I went into this psychiatrist's office, it was like he was like writing a fucking book and shit. You know what I mean? And then he was telling me about him a lot, and he was talking a lot more than psychiatrists, I'm pretty sure, are supposed to talk. Okay. And he also told me at the end that he had never had that like he was like, I've never talked to people like about this kind of stuff. Like this is incredible. That's what he told me when I left. Because I don't hold back. I just fucking tell people exactly. I'm not talking like I'm talking to you. Fuck, he'd probably jump out of a fucking window. I'm not talking about like that. I'm just like, whatever the topic was that he's discussing, I'm like thinking about it critically and then responding in a meaningful way instead of just being like, hey, how's it going? I'm a fucking vacuum in my brain. Did he weep? I'm not that good yet. Maybe in the future I'll get that strong. I'm not that strong yet, mentally and spiritually. All right, I'm gonna take a swig of beer and you guys think about the next topic, okay? I'm taking a quick break. Talk to someone, Shell. Pick a topic, please. We're doing one more topic and then we'll go to bed. Okay. What's the topic going to be? I'm drinking a beer. Quick note, because some people were asking like how we stop the money and shit. So if you're not aware of this, in Deuteronomy, Jews are commanded to run money, okay, and they are doing it. So, and it is a commandment. So the reason that you are fucked is because it's mathematics. It doesn't have anything to do with. It doesn't have anything to do with them being smart or any shit like that. It's because they're acting. They're doing the way that it says, and it's like fucking gravity is on. Like it's not gonna like if you did the same thing that they did and you did it more, then you would be able to do all this shit to them. But you're not doing that, and so that's the way it works. They've been doing this shit for fucking 2,000 or multiple thousand years. I don't remember when the first species was coined, but the way that you're gonna get free is pretty radical, and you guys probably aren't gonna. I'm not saying shit about the chosen. I'm not. Everybody's gonna fucking figure out exactly what the fuck is what. Okay, I promise. And I don't know what that is, so I'm not even gonna try to. Like, I can tell you that shit's fucked up in the world, and it's not just fucking. It's not just the fucking goys. It's the fucking Jews too. We're all fucked up. They're pretty, and they think of themselves as like the Jews. When I read blogs and shit, they fucking think that their weakness is that they're like sexually like like drawn into sexual immorality easily or something like that. Like that's what I see that a lot. Okay, I'm not saying that that's what all Jews think. Jews, if you're seeing this, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what I read a lot. Okay, that is not what is going on. The problem with Jews, if you wanted to, if you had to, like, this is not my judgment. I'm just judging the comment that they made, and I'm looking at them going, this is not like, this is, the problem is that nobody can see what the fuck is going on. Like nobody has vision of like what is actuality. We're just like all seeing this batshit version of, like, it's incorrect. Jews are walking around wearing fucking black hats and shit because they're trying to wear like humble clothing and shit, you know, like what's the word that they use? They're trying to wear clothing, you know, it doesn't have to be like different than nations. It just has to not be, it has to be modest, okay? Well, if you're walking around in a $200 fucking fedora, that is not modest, okay? I am wearing a sweater right now that is $10. I'm wearing a pair of pants that cost me $10, okay? I don't have any, you know, like when I'm walking around outside, nobody's fucking like mistaking me for a fucking, you know, important person. Okay, they're like borderline thinking I'm homeless. Okay, when somebody sees you, when a goy sees you, Orthodox Jews, I'm speaking to you. When a goy sees you and you are wearing a button-up shirt in a jacket, they see pretension, and they see somebody that wants to rule over them and thinks that they're like way better than them. You know, and I mean, I know that you think that you are, but you know, God made all of you. So, you know, I'm just saying you can't be, oh shit, what's the word they use? Modest. You can't be modest and wear shit that's like completely fucking not modest. Okay. I'm not talking about the shape of your hat or anything. I'm talking about like just the appearance of it. Like nobody wears that shit. So you look completely different than everybody else, which isn't a problem. That's fine. But you know, it's not modest. Like your shit is all fucking expensive and shit a lot of times. I mean, you look like an important person from another planet. That's what you look like. That's kind of strange. Yeah. So, you know, and Jews have no idea of this. They don't have any self-awareness of this kind of shit. So like, if you're Jew, I'm just trying to help you. No, I know, but no, I'm not talking about here. Wait, you guys, please stop. I want to talk to Os Trona because this is apparently a Jew. Okay, Os, I'm not talking about this is what I'm saying, Os. The goy has been served a bunch of fucking idols, okay? And I know that Jews don't consider this because they have very specific definitions of idols. But let me try to explain it to you. All of these non-Jews, you know, myself included, are like literally waking up in the morning and going to work and thinking all day about the shit that they're going to buy. Okay. The shit that they're buying has a little fucking sign on it that some Jew made, like Saul Bass, who made like all logos. Like Saul Bass, if you don't know this, is a New York Jew that invented like practical advertising. He did like movie titles and shit for every movie. So like, you know, you can look him up. It's pretty fucking impressive portfolio. I mean, you're talking like Quaker Oats and fucking like, I mean, AT&T, like he made all that shit, right? So that's just an example. So like when somebody goes and like works for fucking 10 years, every fucking second of their life and doesn't think about anything, and they're just like saving up. Yeah, and we're Edward Bernays. And then they're saving up all their money to buy like some car because it has a fucking, you know, Ram on the front. That is a fucking idol. Okay? Like, I don't know what you guys, I mean, I'm sure that Jews have different definitions of idols. That is a fucking idol. Okay? And it's a materialistic idol, and it's fucking completely money based. Okay? So what that means, because of the nature of money and God, is that all that time that they fucking wasted doing all this shit to get that car that's not going to fulfill them, they could have used to discover their potential. Okay, they could have used it to discover God. And the reason that they couldn't do it is not because the fucking goy made a bunch of fucking signs. It's because Jews made a bunch of fucking signs. You see what I'm saying? And they associated it with like a feeling so that they're seeing all this shit. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when a Jew or when a goy sees a Jew walking around with the fucking hats and shit, which is fine. I don't care. Like, I'm not making a judgment about you about how you dress. You guys are gonna do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Okay. I'm saying that when a non-Jew sees you, their brain works the same way it does when they're looking at for fucking signs on cars and shit. And so they see, even though you don't understand, it's like they also they just look and can automatically calculate the value and shit. And so it's like it's not a matter of like the value in your eyes, it's a matter of the value in the people that are seeing you. Because the point of an idol, right? Is it really for you, or is it for all the fucking people that you're projecting to? You know, maybe think about that. You know, because if you're doing it for you, that's one soul. If you're like running around out there with a fucking idol that's so fucking, you know, blazing and impressive that it's just fucking shooting fire in the air, and everybody's like dropping their babies on the ground and they don't even want a fucking baby anymore. They're gonna go over there and fucking lay down at your fire wheel or whatever the fuck you got going on that you made, your fucking Patagonia logo or whatever. And they're just like, you see what I'm saying? It's a perceptual thing, and it's being made by Jews. So no, there are no Gentiles out there that like created fucking logos and shit. It's all Jews. I mean, besides like emblems for, you know, that period of absolutism and like monarchs and shit, non-Jews made that. So I hope that help you understand the question or my statement, that I don't really care about how much your clothes are. I'm just saying it's a fact that it's not modest. Yeah. So the way, okay, this is the last thing. I'm not going to talk about Jesus. I'm not going to talk about greatest story never told. I don't even know what Neuralink is. Okay, so why? Because why would I not talk about Jesus? Because it's not really applicable to this topic, to what we're discussing. Like Jesus is not going around fucking putting in, you know, like trying to fucking steal everybody's DNA. I don't know anything about Musk. Fuck, I can't remember. Truth. The only possible way. I'm going to tell you something, but this is my opinion. I'm humble enough to know that I personally, I don't think that I don't think that any human mind can closely to any point, Jew or Gentile or anybody, can at any speck of the quantum depth of what God is can hold it in their hand or their mind. And I think that that's like the real downsides of all religions, not just Judaism and Christianity, but like the prior religions, like fucking the Upanishads and shit like that. The problem with it is that, like, my problem is like we are dealing with, in religion, we are dealing with shit that is impossible for us to surmount. Like, you cannot surmount logically into the domain of God, and like go and sit up there on his throne. Okay? Because and if atheists are watching this, just like chill the fuck out. You're probably thinking that like I think there's some guy in the sky and the fucking throne and shit. No, I'm not talking. I'm just this is like theoretical shit. Or this is I'm trying to, God help me. Okay. I just listen. You cannot, no one can hold God. There's okay. I'm gonna try to explain this to you, okay? Look at this shit. Hang on. We're gonna fucking knock this out. Okay, I'm going to answer this question for you. I'm going to answer this question for you. It is going to be my own way. I don't know if you're going to understand it or not. I'm going to try to do it as logically as possible that I would, you know, in a way that I would explain to someone, okay? But if you don't track it, I'm not going to repeat it or go into it anymore after this. And I'm not going to cover it again. Because I don't want to talk about religion and stuff other than in its like physicality, and then maybe like the spiritual side, because all this stuff involves atheists and agnostics, and I don't want them to, like, if you say anything about religion around atheists and agnostics, they're just like, whoop, and they just turn and like walk off. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna. They don't understand. They're not. They think that they know religions and shit, but they don't understand. So I don't want to lose them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right. Okay. So here we go. Do you see this? Can you see this fucking T square? Okay. This T square right here. This is Pythagorean theorem. Okay. That's what we call it. Okay. You guys know that? So like Pythagorean theorem is, that would be like when you like, a square plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, like in math, if you're doing like a math equation, but what it really is like, shit. Like if you took some wood and you put some fucking wood here, right? So like if you put, no, that's not gonna work. Hang on, guys. I'm technically challenged here with my props, with my fucking God props. Okay. All right. Okay, you get the idea, right? That's Pythagorean theorem. Okay, that's Pythagorean theorem. All right. It also looks like that. Okay. But what is Pythagorean theorem really? It doesn't exist. Okay. So what I'm saying is that we in our brain are making the assumption that this is straight. Like that's a straight line, that's a straight line, that's a straight line. This motherfucker is not straight. Okay. If you like zoomed, where's the camera? If you zoom way the fuck in here, this fucking shit will look like, if you put this under an electron microscope, it's gonna look like the Rocky Mountains. Okay. It's not gonna be straight. Okay. So that's how everything works. So the actual Pythagorean theorem that we see in our mind is not found anywhere on Earth. Like you can't go outside in the woods and then like see Pythagorean theorem on something. Okay. We make the erroneous assumption, right? It doesn't model physical reality. It's not in physical reality. It doesn't exist in physical reality. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You walk around out in the woods and you are not going to find any fucking Pythagorean theorem that exists like in a visual way where it's like physically there. Now it exists in things that are like not, it exists in things like gravity and shit like that. You can find it like abstractly. Okay. But what I'm saying is that it is from there are literally other worlds that we don't accept. Like in modern, like there's literally like, let me put it this way. Pythagorean theorem was discovered by the Egyptians because they built the pyramids. Like, so it's necessarily true that they fucking understood it. Pythagorean theorem was lost because there's no recorded record of anything. And that's the reason why it's called Pythagorean theorem, because it was discovered by Pythagoras, and he was after the Egyptians. So like the Egyptians and Pythagoras both fucking discovered something and they never talked to each other, like shared the information, right? But neither one of them walked around the planet and saw the thing that they call Pythagorean theorem in physicality. Okay, they access it with their mind, and it's not here. So like there is an entire dimension, okay, that you guys talk about like heaven, that fucking exists, and that is where we're pulling shit out of, and it is being given to us by our Creator, and it is a literal place that is real and has an effect on this world, as does what you do with shit that you build using the Pythagorean theorem. But the shit that you build is not perfect. Like it's good enough to defeat gravity so it stays up and doesn't fall fuck over, but it is not perfect because, and there is a very important reason why, and that's because if you were allowed to possess something in your hand that was perfect, like the concept of Pythagorean theorem, then you would just take it and run around and fucking enslave the world. Okay, that's just the reality. That is why we don't have anything perfect in the world that we can wield in a hand. The same thing is true necessarily about religions. So like people that try to like that want to invoke God and then use it as a weapon and hold in the hand, that is not God. Okay, like God is not going to let you do that, and God is not going to let you take the throne. Now, I'm not saying that like I'm not talking about like Christianity or Judaism or anything in particular. I'm just saying in general. Like this is based on your observation. I'm not a judger. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just telling you the fucking facts. Like this is the way it is. Okay, so that is why I'm not going to talk about Jesus. Okay, and because there's a bunch of atheists and agnostics watching this, and I don't want to. Did that make any sense, or is that just like I could have just totally gone over everybody's heads? I don't know. Or explain it poorly. I'm a fucking idiot, so I could have explained it poorly, not got my point across, and then like you're just like, oh, Doug's dumb. Okay. All right. Okay. So cool. I'm very glad. 'Cause it's a complex topic to teach somebody. Or not teach. I'm not teaching. So okay, here's the second part. I just made an erroneous error. I just said that I taught you that. I'm not teaching you anything. Okay? I don't even know it. I'm reflecting it from the place that I fucking got it to you. And then you're technically you're checking it against your memory of the place, and then you're fucking like checking to see if it's okay. And you're like, yeah, I think it's good. Like that is what's going on. But I'm not gonna go into that. Yeah, they don't exist in the real world. What I'm saying about religion, if you're a religious person that's here, I am not denigrating your religion. I'm not telling you that your religion is wrong. What I'm saying is that all the religions are right. That's what I'm fucking telling you. Okay? If that makes you can wrap your brain around that for a minute and chew on it. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? That was kind of intense. That was like a kind of intense thing, and I didn't really want to go there. Can we talk about something else? Any thoughts on using Afghanistan? Hang on, I want to see this. I have not read Rudolf Steiner myself. Any thoughts on them using Afghanistan as a test bed for tactics to stop? Test bed for tactics to stop. Oh, that's a good point. Charles, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Charles Jones says, any thoughts on them using Afghanistan as a test bed for tactics to stop an insurgency in the United States? Also hear anything about the CIA doing sketchy stuff over there? Yeah. So I've already said this before, but it's like, you know, I mean, these podcasts are like a fucking eon long. So I'll go over it again. So yeah, so we'll just talk about Afghanistan really briefly. Okay, so if you favorite bar in Schweinfurt, I like the one. There's one I can't remember the fucking name because I can't read German, but it has like a schnapps, like a huge schnapps in a raindrop shape, like up on the counter that just sits there all the time. That's a cool bar. It's like in the, I guess it'd be in the northeast of the town. I like, yeah, I usually like, my favorite beer is molasses beer. Like Colonial molasses beer is my fucking, nobody brews it. But if you get Colonial molasses beer, that's my jam. But I do like IPAs and pale ales also. No, there's so many beers. I do choose Grizzly. You're just new here. Okay, so I'm going to answer this gentleman's question on Afghanistan. He asked me if Afghanistan was used for a training ground to like test counterinsurgency tactics. Yes, it is. So the war on terror, one of the qualities of what is going on here with world government is that they're extremely efficient, and it's one of the ways that you can tell. Like, I don't know exactly who the executors are of this shit. Like, I know that it's money. Like, I know it's top down. It comes from Rothschild. Like, they're the executive executors of this shit. Okay, I don't know who's out there in the field like setting this shit up and thinking about like writing these ideas down. But whoever it is, I tip my hat to you because you're a smart little motherfucker, and you're a lot smarter than me. They always do everything in like duplicate or triplicate. That makes me think it's Jews because if you're familiar with the way that Jews learn, it's like always everything is always like, like for instance, Jewish rabbis like in rabbinicism, which is the Pharisees, they have a concept that's called Ifcham Estabra, okay, and what that means is that like you can interpret that in a couple ways, but like the coolest way to look at it is like to learn like if you approach an idea that you didn't understand well and then you became exhausted in like trying to examine it, right? And you're just like, I just don't know what else to do. Ifcham Estabra means to examine its opposite, right? So like that's not a Western thought. That's a rabbinic thought. Okay. So like that would mean that like in the West, right? You would stop once you like we would exhaust ourselves trying to examine something, thinking that we got everything, and then give up. Well, the Jews think about the inversion, and that has to do with their understanding of the mechanics of creation. I don't speak Hebrew and shit. I just know this. I've tried to talk to Jews before, and I've had very unpleasant interactions with Jews, and I don't feel like it's me. I feel like it's Jews, and that's cool. Like I'm not, whatever. You guys are probably gonna cut off my fucking head anyway. Fuck. No, there's nothing optimistic. So so they got time travel, you think? All right. So Afghanistan. So number one about Afghanistan is that this is the part I already mentioned before. So you know that before 9/11 ever happens, all like bullshit, they're not bullshit, but the conspiracy theories about 9/11 are tangential. You don't need to know any of that shit to know that Afghanistan is fucking set up because and World Trade Center is set up because Ahmed Massoud got assassinated on September 9th. So, World Trade Center happened on September 11th. So that's 2 days prior. He got assassinated. The way that he got assassinated was not like, he didn't like get shot by, some fucking drunk in an alley with a revolver or something like that. He got blown up with Simtex that was like embedded into a fucking film camera and a suicide belt from people with Tunisian passports that flew over there to interview him, and they posed like interviewers, and they fucking blew themselves up in a suicide detonation, fucking killed them. So right away, when you hear that, like when you first learn about this instance, when you hear that, you know that this is not like, like what the government's claims, what the historical record claims, is that these cats that blew up are Al Qaeda, and that they, because Ahmed Massoud, who he was the leader of the Northern Alliance. If you recall, when we invaded Afghanistan, we linked up with Northern Alliance, and they help us push into fucking steal their country from them. But he was the leader of the Northern Alliance, and the way the Northern Alliance formed was through the fight with the Russians in the Russo-Afghan War, which is in the 80s. Okay, the Ahmed Massoud was such a suave motherfucker. Ahmed Massoud was like a people magnet. Like he was just like pouring energy, and it didn't matter who talked to him. Everybody loved him, and he loved everybody else. He didn't love the CIA though. Okay, like it's known that he had huge beef with the CIA because they had a long drawn out relationship with the fucking Stinger program, where they brought in stingers to try to what the CIA wanted to do was fucking okay. What the CIA wanted to do was get free testing on their equipment against Russia for stingers. That's all the CIA wanted to do. Their secondary objective was to fucking like okay, I'm gonna stick my dick in your fucking doorway and then like don't close it anymore because my dick's here, and now I'm gonna put my whole body in there when you're not looking. That's what the CIA was trying to do. They're trying to get their foot in the fucking door in Afghanistan. I'm assuming this pretty fucking smart dude. So he didn't like this shit. Okay. Not only that, he thought the Stingers were pieces of shit. And he basically got into a pissing match with the CIA about how many helicopters were getting fucking shot out of the sky by Apaches with AK-47s versus, fucking CIA supplied missiles. And the CIA were like boosting the number for propaganda reasons. And fucking Ahmed was like, the truth, what was really happening was that Ahmed Massoud was like a savant at guerrilla warfare in the fucking mountains. And the way that he was a savant was because he inspired people and he could pull them together. That's the truth. Like, they're the same fucking Muj that are fighting the Americans. The difference is that Ahmed was like the fucking, he was like the Elvis of Afghanistan. Okay. So, now Ahmed Massoud, in terms of the CIA, like now I'm switching over to CIA domain, like their perspective, like what they see with their stupid eyeballs. This is what the CIA sees when they look at Ahmed. They see a guy who they don't understand exactly, but they want to pretend like they understand and like analyze him and shit. But like, they don't have any spirituality. So they're just like, or I presume, I mean, people that I've met in the CIA are fucking hardcore atheists. So I assume that the rest of the CIA is like that. But the CIA is looking at Ahmed Massoud and is like, it's like seeing him. They're just like, this guy has the magic and he's super dangerous and he's able to kill. Like he's fucking throwing off entire fucking Russian armor columns and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's throwing off like hardcore, like heavy. I mean, there's like heavy shit that should be killing everybody. He's just like he's just pushing their shit at him like easily in the mountains because he's such a mountain boy. You know what I mean? Like, he's a wild boy, and he's really good at it. And so like they see all this and they're just seeing numbers. Like they're seeing like reports and charts and shit of like how many tanks are blowing up in fucking KIA and like Russian captured prisoners. And they're just like, holy shit, this guy's fucking, yeah, he's a fucking boss. Yes, that is correct, Squatch. He's a fucking boss. So the CIA sees this, and then this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So the story that's history is obviously bullshit, and I don't need to like violate any kind of like secrecy, anything, because I'm just not a retard. So because I'm not retarded, I can use my brain and I can like put 2 and 2 together and that equals 4. So like the CIA fucking, however they did it, got somebody to go suicide vest fucking, or I don't know if it's CIA. I shouldn't say that. That's not true. I don't know who the fuck it is. It could be Jews. It's probably Jews. It could be Jews. It could be Israelis. It could be CIA. It could be fucking anybody. Somebody that does that kind of shit somehow got somebody to S-vest themselves and kill Ahmed Massoud. And the reason that they did it was because they didn't want him, because they knew that he was going to fight the Americans when they got there. And they didn't want to fucking have a bunch of American boys getting killed in Afghanistan when we got there. Yeah, I don't know who when I said it was the CIA that killed him, that is not true. I do not know that it was the CIA. That was just a rash, I'm just throwing it out there as like a plausibility. It was somebody. It's most likely, like if you go through probability, it's either CIA. I mean, and CIA is like American Jews. That's what it is. But CIA is it was either CIA or it was like Mossad or it was like some other, somebody that does like secret shit, and nobody even cared. Like, there's not anybody Western, because Western people don't even care about secret shit. Like they don't even fucking understand secrets. You know what I mean? Like the West is just like hi ho diddle diddle up the middle. And fucking shoot him in the head and canoe him. That's what the West is. Is like Jews are like fucking like we're gonna, fucking look up his butthole and then fucking get a mirror and look up a mirror and fucking do the reverse, exact opposite, the inversion. I mean, it's just like crazy. Yeah, it could be subcontractors. I'm just saying. There's some force. There is somebody that fucking does the business of like putting, taking poor whoever they are whoever's ideologically ready to fucking explode themselves with plastic explosives. There's somebody that is in the business of getting those people the explosives and sending them to where they need to go and fucking telling them to go blow themselves up there. And they're somehow powerful enough to make the people go fucking do that. It's not fucking Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda isn't even real. It's not fucking Iran. It's not Iran. Iran is in this situation. I'm going to explain Iran so you guys understand. Iran, for the most part, besides the Iranian Jews, which are pretty sneaky, the Iranians are just like hanging out right now, like waiting to fucking get eviscerated. That's what's going on. And then they're like trying to calculate when they're gonna like fucking raid Israel. That's what's going on with Iran for the past since the 19, since forever really. I mean, since the settlements began, Iran's been like thinking about this since just like the clock's ticking. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna Iran is either probably gonna get vaporized, or Iran is going to, calculate themselves correctly that they're gonna get vaporized, and then they're gonna tactfully just go like, fuck it, we're gonna die anyway. And they're gonna fucking raid Israel and kill everybody. Which, by the way, if Iran did that, is part of certain prophecies in the fucking Tanakh. By the way, if you didn't know that. Yeah, I don't. Okay, Eric. Eric is talking about how Iran funded ideas. That is a possibility. I'm not denying that's a possibility. I don't believe, like, I know shit. Okay, so my background is explosives. Okay, now I don't want to, like, if you're a spook on here, like, monitoring me, don't get freaked out. I'm not fucking. I fuck with explosives my whole life. Like, I'm not a fucking threat. So fuck off. Like, I fucking made explosives in the army. Okay, so I know shit about fucking EFPs and shit like that. Okay, the EFPs and shit that we're finding in Iraq are not from fucking Iran. They're just saying that they are. They're from fucking Jews. And the reason I know that is because of my extensive knowledge of explosives, and that I don't have, I mean, I'm retarded, but like, I know how to add fucking 2 + 2. So, like, if you didn't know this, there was like, in Germany, I believe it was, in the 80s, there was a banking split up where a fucking banker got killed with a fucking EFP that shot through his armored car and fucking cut his jugular and fucking like penetrated through his armored vehicle. It was like an EFP. If you don't know what an EFP is, it's an explosively formed projectile. And the way it's designed is when you're using a high explosive as the pusher, you use a material, like a heavy metal material, and then it has a certain radius on it, like a parabola. And then it inverts under high velocity. So we're talking like high velocity explosives that are like this could be up to like 8,000 meters per second. Like, we're talking like super fucking fast. Like, your gun that you shoot is like a 2,000 feet per second bullet. I'm not talking about feet. I'm talking about meters. We're talking like 8,000 meter per second explosives here, shooting fucking like multi-pound plates through shit. Like, zip through a fucking M1 Abrams like no fucking problem. Like, that's fucking cornflakes. You know what I mean? So, like, no, not a shape charge. So a shape charge is like, is when you use the hot gas from an explosive to penetrate something, and it's actually the same. So shape charge, the effective area of a shape charge, like its penetration range, is actually the same model as an optic that you look through with your eye. And people don't know that because they're stupid, but it's the same fucking thing. It's just gas. It's dealing with gas instead of light. But so there's a guy in Germany. If somebody actually, could somebody look this up? Could somebody look up? Is it Deutsche Bank employee? I think Deutsche Bank, like, bomb assassination in the 80s in Germany. Somebody look that up and tell me what the guy's name is and what when it was, and just the basic facts, like when, where, who. Yeah. No, it's fucking advanced shit for people that deal with explosives. You would, if you're not in explosives, you're not gonna know fucking shit about it. Nobody should know about it. I'm talking about, when I'm saying like stupid people, I mean like people in government that think they know something, they don't fucking know shit. I'm talking about spooks that are in here fucking monitoring me. I'm trying to make fun of them. Okay, I'll look up Neuralink. Thank you. Well, you can't. You can't tell the glowworms to go home because this is their home. Yeah, join the party. If you're fed, you're welcome here. If you're a glow, like even if you're, I don't even care if you're fucking Mossad. If you're fucking Mossad in here or whatever, or part of the Sanhedrin in here, and you're like looking at here to plot against me, like just chill out, okay? I'm not like you just mind your business and well, I shouldn't say that, I guess. Right? Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna talk about the Sanhedrin. Okay. Okay. Look up Dynacorp. Okay. Okay. The guy's name is Harhausen. Okay. So Harhausen was killed by a sophisticated roadside bomb shortly after leaving his home in Bad Homburg on 30th November of 1989. So a normal person would read this story and they wouldn't know exactly, I mean, it's like sounds fancy and stuff, but they don't, I'm going to break it down for you. What that means is that this is 1989. So 1989, if you don't remember like where militaries were at, like in terms of armament development and shit, like EFPs, if you're talking 1989 EFPs, you're talking like fucking like ATK and shit like that. Like you're talking like Saab, like Saab manufacturing plant and shit, like making like rockets and shit. That's who's making EFPs. Or you're talking about some fucking explosive savant that is way fucking high speed because back then they weren't as prevalent as they are now. And it wasn't really shape charge. It was like an EFP because it shot a plate. They used like a bicycle with a fucking bag on it, and then they use the edge of the bag as like the container. Yeah, Saab. Yeah, they make missiles and shit. They make the Saab makes like the like have you ever seen Rangers? Like Rangers will get the RAS missile launcher, like SF and shit. They got the fucking Gustav, like the Carl G. Gustav. They're fucking pushing people's shit in with that shit. That's Saab. Okay, they make that shit for a long time. But before that, yeah, explosive lensing. So explosive lensing is like what they do in nukes. That's how you detonate nukes. But a shape charge is how like if you're boring. Like you would use a shape charge to like bore a hole, like in the ground or in whatever. An EFP is when you're like transferring the energy to a solid mass and you're like putting the mass in flight, and so your range extends and shit like that. Like a shape charge has an I box similar to like an optical equation, and it's limited. So like and it's a vector. So like once you get outside of that, the power, like your actual energy delivery like dissipates extremely quickly. Whereas an EFP, it's like the entire, I mean, you lose some behind the whatever the round that you're sending, but like the round is soaking up a lot of it, and it's just gonna fucking haul ass and just fucking eviscerate anything that it comes in contact with. Because we're talking, like when you're talking like if you're talking like high explosive shit, like 8,000 meters per second, you're talking like shit at that point that is like if you're talking like a solid mass object, maybe like 5,000 meters per second or something. You were talking like the 5,000 meters per second window is like you're talking about like physics shit that they don't even know. Like they just know that it kills shit good. They don't really understand what's going on. It is, yeah, it's kind of similar. I think it's faster than a railgun. I don't know. Could you look up the velocity of a railgun? Okay, so when you hit shit at 5,000 meters per second, matter does not act the way that it does at lower speeds. And 5,000 meters per second is like kind of the secret sauce velocity, which is difficult to get. So I don't really care about saying that in this thread because it's not like sensitive information anyway. Anybody can look it up if you're not a dummy. But it's not really that, it's not like dangerous for me to tell you this because like if you don't even know what I'm talking about, and it's like good luck have fun trying to get an EFP going 5,000 feet per second. I mean, people do it, but they know what they're doing. So like the motherfucking, like if you hit armor, let's say homogeneous roll armor, it's like it's not there. It like just opens up for the EFP to go through. Like the particles, it's like it has something to do with quantum physics. So what's 3,500 meters? Is the window or the railgun? Yeah. So a railgun, which is like the fastest, like hot shit new gun, right? That's 3,500 meters per second. There are explosives that fucking have a VOD of like fucking 12,000 meters per second and shit. I think there's explosives that have like 30,000 meters per second, like VOD. Now that's like at the point of explosion. That's not like it wouldn't actually be that high velocity for the fucking or at least 20K. I know there's a 20,000 meter per second like super nerd explosive, but anyway, this shit is like this is like crazy shit that we're talking about. I'm not talking feet per second. Yeah, meters per second, not feet per second. So when you get into explosives math, they don't use any imperial system. It's all metric. So you have to be an idiot to use imperial because you get all your shit mixed up. There's too many orders of magnitude. I've never been to EOD. Kilometer. I've never heard of 10,000 kilometers per second. I don't know. I'm a little bit rusty, like I'm not actively making explosives or anything. So I don't, I probably need to brush up on it. Okay. So it's fast as fuck. So anyway, we're talking about this fucking cat. Yeah, I was a sapper. We're talking about this cat. We're talking about this cat in Germany that worked for Deutsche Bank in 1989 that was just going to go get his fucking McDonald's coffee in the morning. And then he fucking he's in an armored car because he's not even, it's not like there's not a lot of people getting killed by fucking EFPs in Europe, okay? Like he's the only one. So like this dude's rolling around an armored car, but that's just like procedural for Deutsche Bank employees. So like he's not actually expecting anything. And he's like driving around and the fucking EFP receiver fucking wrecks his shit, obviously. And then they just chalked up to like communist revolutionaries. Those are not communist revolutionaries. That is like, I'm not even going to speculate who it is, but that is basically like whoever the guy that's like fucking doing world government probably like went and just picked somebody who was hot shit on explosives and was like, hey, go fucking kill this guy. Like that's what's going on from like a huge company. It's not from fucking communists. They don't fucking know shit. That was like, if I could get, now I'm not saying that this is what happened, okay? I'm just trying to give you an analogy. This is the analogy. The analogy, what happened there was something similar to like fucking a Rothschild sent a bag boy to go to like, Saab or something and pull some fucking nerd that they had like a contractor and said like, go kill this man. And they fucking went out there and, I mean, to me, it's retarded. Like if you're fucking using EFP in Europe on one guy and it's never like, that shit never happens. So you're just fucking flagging yourself. Like anybody that knows fucking anything is going to understand what's going on. It would have been better. What they should have done is paid a fucking homeless guy to fucking set him on fire. I would have and fucking yell something about, Gandhi or something, like some shit where they could put it in the paper and anybody that read it would like hold it in their head for like 2 seconds and then dump it. They'd be like, wow, what a crazy world. Let's move on. You're doing EFPs in Europe, you're like, to send them, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I'm sure there's some reason. I mean, it's a lot of effort. It is precise though. Like if you wanted to precisely kill somebody with an explosive in a car, that'd be the way to do it. Like if you didn't want to fuck it up at all. But I don't know why they killed him. It's obviously he's a Deutsche Bank employee, so I'm assuming it has something to do with banks, right? Like money. But no, it's not USSR. I mean, it could be okay. If it was USSR, then it was like high speed, like, Jews that are like running between Israel and USSR. And they're not really they don't have fuck all to do with USSR. They're just hanging out there as a cover. It doesn't have anything to do with like, it's fucking high speed shit. Okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's way too high speed to be what they say it is. So anyway, I can't remember what we were even talking about before that we get into, if we're getting into the dude, the fucking Hazelbruger or whatever the fuck his name is. What we're talking about with EFPs to get into that. All right. Well, yeah, I'm tired now too. Yeah. Oh, I'm in Masood. Okay. I'm gonna wrap up the in Masood, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So I'm in Masood. What it means, somebody that was high speed, but not as high speed as EFP guy, but still pretty high speed, rigged up a camera and a suicide belt for some poor people that may or may not have been Muslims. I don't know. The history books say they're Muslims. They could have tried to say they're Al Qaeda. They're definitely not Al Qaeda because Al Qaeda doesn't even exist. So you can rule that one out. Pretty simple. So they sent him over there, whoever it was, and they fucking assassinated him because they knew from his problems with the CIA. Okay, now there's another clue right there because the CIA is kind of like secret. They don't like share a lot of secrets. So it's known that Ahmed Massoud had beef with the CIA because of the fucking Stinger program and trying to steal all the glory. It's pretty much like a mountain man pissed off that somebody's taking his kill count. And he knew that they were trying to stay in Afghanistan afterwards. So it worked out. So he's like, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. And then that was like the relationship that ended between the CIA and Ahmed Massoud. So unless CIA is going around and telling people stories about how they fucking supplied the Stinger program in that era, which is highly unlikely, then that means that whoever killed him is in the CIA. There. That's what we call logical deduction. It's magic. Like I don't even have to know any fucking classified documents. I just fucking tell you what's going on. Because you just quit thinking in boxes and just look at fucking facts and just line them up and say rearrange until what works. And what you're fucking magic time traveler that can go through walls and shit and see shit. Okay, so are we good with that? I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah. So then the logical deduction from that, if I'm not saying that the CIA killed Ahmed Massoud, I'm saying that that's a logical deduction. That's probable. If the CIA killed Ahmed Massoud, then the reason would be whoever killed him, regardless if it's CIA or not, whoever killed Ahmed Massoud did 9/11. That's another logical deduction. Like they fucking did 9/11. Whoever that is. It's a probability that's CIA. So CIA did 9/11. The CIA isn't necessarily American. The CIA is an American entity with a bunch of Jews in it. LARPing as Americans. That's what the CIA is. If you didn't know that. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to throw Jews under the bus. I'm saying that because it's just fucking, like, I'm just fucking speaking truth. If you don't like that, I don't know. You should have been smarter, I guess. I guess you can come murder me if you want. I don't think it's necessary. You're never going to get, I'm not going to do an AMA. We'll never get the random questions out of the way. You guys will fucking pull them right out of your ass anytime. Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, me. Different track, yeah. Okay, guys, I appreciate you guys coming here and watching this video. I'm trying to wake up the American population so they don't, because a bunch of them are going to die. Nobody takes me seriously. You guys should fucking take me seriously, I think, in my opinion. If, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, how do I put this? If we were talking about shit that isn't this, like, we're talking about a lot of different shit. Some of the shit that I'm talking about isn't really the shit that I want to talk about. It's what you guys want to talk about. It seems like you guys are able to connect more with the shit that I don't want to talk about. And so, it seems like it gets through to you more, and you're like, it's showing you some truths, like you can recognize truth in it, right? Well, if that's true, then there's some truth there could be some truth in the things I'm trying to tell you about, what I'm trying to tell you is that the United States needs to understand not to go outside of the borders to fight China. If they start a war with China, which is fucking inevitable, it's going to happen, then you can fight them from in the, okay, I'm giving you strategy to help the United States survive. If they go to war with China, and if you fight China from, within the proximity of the United States, like not like going 5,000 miles away and trying to fight them, then, you're going to be able to do all that you can do. If you go 5,000 miles away, like you're going to get your fucking shit handed to you because you're going to get sabotaged. Okay. I'm not talking, if you're a dullard watching this, like if you're like a dullard gung-ho guy that's like, I want to kick everybody's ass, there's always something bigger than you. And if there's not something bigger than you, then there's fucking 5 people that are smaller than you that will be bigger than you together. And what I'm trying to say to you is that no matter what you do, when you go over to China, like you are like United States is slated to fucking take the fall. So you guys are going to have to be super fucking vigilant and competent in order to stop that. The U.S. government is not going to help you, and they are fucking incompetent, and they are going to fucking sell you out and get you killed. And they're not going to be there to say they're sorry, like when they realize it's a bad idea. They're going to be fucking like all the people that could have done anything are meek saps anyway. Like they don't, they're just all bribed. Everybody's corrupt in the U.S. government. They don't even know it. They don't even understand what corruption is. Okay. So what I'm telling you, what I'm trying to get out, the message I'm trying to get out to American people, like particularly like American military age fighters, is number one, you need to start getting ready right now. Like this weekend, you need to get your shit ready right now. So if you're in a militia or whatever, you need to fucking be ready right now. Like not next week. You need to be ready right now. I don't know if any shit is gonna pop up this weekend. It could. So you need to be ready now. You should not be hurting people. So you should be orienting and prioritizing defending your population. That is where you should put your energy, and doing good to people, like providing, if there's nobody to go and shoot, you don't need to go find somebody to shoot. You need to, like, maybe you do some help in your community. If I can help some old ladies that carry some groceries or something, you know what I mean? Or fucking help somebody that doesn't have like a father or something. That's what you need to be doing, and working together and figuring out what you're going to do about food and shit like that. You don't need to be going and like fucking canoeing people all over town or wherever you're going to go. All right. But you need to get ready now. Like you need to get your shit tight now. Yeah, you need to protect women and children. And the whole thing is that like they are defenseless. They're not going to be like these. I'm trying to help you guys understand that these socialists and shit that are in the media and shit, these dummies that are like just fucking putty in the hands of the world government. They're just like doing their pitting. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know. They can't even comprehend. Okay. Like they don't have the ability. You need to think of this like you should think of it like a sick person or like a handicapped person. They don't have the ability to understand what's going on or to even resist. And if they change their mind, like if their heart changed and they suddenly like woke up and realized it was wrong, they were wrong, it wouldn't matter, because even when they did that, they're not going to have the capability to like come and help you and defend you. They're going to be fucking, who they are. So what I'm telling you is that even though these people are assholes, they are your sisters and brothers, and you need to fucking come together and realize that all this fucking division that's going on in the United States is a fucking social program to destabilize you. And they are doing a fucking good job. And you guys, including myself, we are sucking. Like we are not doing a good job. And we do not need to take any handouts from the government. You need to get off the government tit, and you need to start providing for yourself of all the things that you need to survive on a daily basis, not just on an emergency. I'm not talking about emergency, like shit, we need to stack MREs for a couple months. I'm talking like you need to start changing your life on the daily basis to provide yourself with food and water. Because when this war kicks off, and then stay that way forever until the day that you die, and teach your fucking children to do it. Because when this war kicks off, that is the shit that's going to get fucked with, and then you're going to run out of options. And when you run out of options, you're going to find yourself like in a militia, like a fake militia being run by some psychopath, and you're going to be fucking like shooting children and shit. I'm telling you, this is all this shit happened in multiple countries. Like this is a fucking, I mean, I can fucking see it happening now in my head. Like it's all set up. Okay. I don't know when the breaking point is for it to get that bad, but it's going to come at some point. It depends a lot on the external war. So like the Chinese external war has a huge effect on what happens in here, right? Like if everything's going to plan for the people that want this to happen over in China and all your boys are getting slaughtered over there, then it's like they don't have to be so hard here at home. But you shouldn't bank on that because, like depending on how you're identified, like how they identify you, what they think of you as a nation, like you could be slotted. I don't know what you're slotted for. You could be slotted to like have all your women. I mean, fuck. Do I need to get this? You could be. I'm trying to help you understand that like Germany. Okay, Germany, when Germany fell, right, because they resisted communism and they threw off the coup. Okay, you guys listening to me? You need to listen to me right now, please. I need you guys to be quiet and listen to me for a second and let this sink in. This is gonna be fucked up. I'm trying to leave an impression on you. Okay. I want you to feel bad when I say this and you let it sink into your heart. When Germany threw off the communist revolution, and that was not the plan they were supposed to go through, and when they fucking bucked the system and threw it off, and then they did a fucking Hail Mary into Russia and tried to take out Russia, and then they didn't make it and they had to come all the way back. When that fucking Red Army came through there, they raped fucking damn near every fucking woman, and they were raping children, and they were fucking stabbing babies with fucking bayonets. And these are people that are not that far off blood related. Okay, like they're not like, some of these people are like probably like the same forefathers and shit. So, like, you need to understand this. Okay, not only were they were like fucking gang raping like 7-year-old women and fucking shooting them in the head and throwing them in ditches, like an entire town. Like no remorse whatsoever. So I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going to happen to you. I'm saying that you should understand the severity of this. Like if the United States is slaughtered right now, the media is not making a good case for the United States. Like the media is slowly over the decades setting up the United States to be viewed as Nazi Germany, if you didn't know that. So I would put two and two together, and I would say that is like, if one thing's like another, if it looks like if it fucking quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. Okay? I know this shit is hard to hear, but nobody else is gonna fucking tell it to you, so I'm fucking telling it to you because people need to wake up. All right? You need to wake up. This is not, you've already wasted all of your fucking relaxed time. Like you and your father and, my grandpa and all these guys have already fucking wasted all the relaxed time that you have for like the next 10 generations. Okay? You're not going to get it back. It is not time to relax anymore. It is time to use your fucking brain. No, it doesn't. They're going to set it up. Like you're going to fall hard. And if you, especially if you just play, like if you're listening to the government, like if you're in the army right now, if you're in the active army, like if you're an SF dude right now, you need to understand that like when this China war kicks off, this is like the death blow. This is intended to be the death blow of the United States. So anything if you're like, fuck that, we're super strong. You need to understand that like when you deploy the Navy or whatever to go over to wherever you're going to go, like all of your fucking intelligence is going to get leaked and you're not going to know it. So like when you're setting up your huge battle plan, there's some fucking general and shit, that thinks he's like smart. He's not smart. He has no fucking idea what's going on beyond what he's supposed to know. You got like where it matters, where the shit matters. Like, you need to be high speed as fuck and have all the fucking, MRAPs and fucking Abrams and Apaches that you want and B2s, but you don't own them and you don't run them. And your fucking intelligence, like how your intelligence works in the United States, you don't even have any hand on it. Like it's so stupid. Like you don't even have, the reason that any intelligence is compartmentalized for the U.S. Army is so that nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Period. So like you are going to, if you are SF or if you are in the Navy or regular Army and then you fucking deploy to go fight China, you're going to think that you're doing a good job and shit. And you're like, you're kicking ass and shit, and like all of a sudden one day you're going to have a bad day and it's just going to get worse. And then you're not going to be able to figure out like what the fuck happened. And then you're going to like come home and you're going to lose the fucking country. So Stop listening to the government. They are not here to help you. Okay? Maybe you listen to the crazy guy on the fucking phone that has no reason to even be here talking to you because it's like a total fucking risk to me to be telling you this shit. I'm assuming all risk and I have no reward. Like nobody's gonna fucking pay me for telling you this. I have no fucking. I'm not gonna open a Patreon account. Okay, I'm not going to sell you fucking Adidas or put some fucking. I'm not gonna put fucking Black Rifle coffee commercial on this fucking video. Okay. I think I've made my point. You need to be inside the United States. Second point. This one will be really brief. The only way, honestly, I don't think that we have a chance, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. But I think the right road is peace, but like not like a slave peace, like you shouldn't be about revenge. You should be about like doing what's right in the first place. And because we didn't do that, that's why we're here. So instead of like putting all your eggs in one basket to go like try to hunt coyotes, you should be like worrying about your kids and shit. But in a like you need to get the fucking government. The government needs to not have a hand on communities. Communities need to be based on the people that live there and serve their interests. So like communities need to make their own food. You need to stop getting loans. You need to get the fucking banks out of the United States. Number one, like period. You need to get the fucking banks out of the fucking United States. And then if you're going to use money, this is for whoever the politician is that's going to try to clean this shit up if somehow we fucking make it. Whoever the fucking politician is, you guys need to understand the only way that any of this shit happened, like we had colonial script, that was like a fiat currency that was only in the colonies and wasn't related to trading with international banking. We did pretty fucking good with colonial script for the colonies for growing. That's how we became who we were after the Revolutionary War. But just because it did well doesn't mean that you need to understand it's a vulnerable system. And the reason why is because when you have that and people get complacent with money and they don't understand what's going on, they lose their education and they don't watch their money. And then somebody just comes along and just like takes over the money supply. And that's exactly what happened when the Federal Reserve got instated in the United States in the beginning of the 20th century. So it's probably a good idea to like alter the Constitution a little bit, like make it fucking a minute where that shit doesn't happen. The original Constitution had that already in there and they took it out. Like they just quit doing it. So, the best thing, if you want to know what the foolproof one was, like the one that you can't fuck up possibly, is if you make a system that's direct commodity trade, where like everybody is trading goods directly in an efficient way using computers to keep track of shit. And it doesn't have a float. Like there's no float. There's no guy with like a bunch of ghost numbers that he can just fucking type with his dick on the keyboard and then he's a fucking billionaire. That doesn't exist if you do that. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Because that's the way that you got $20 trillion in debt is because there's like, you basically got like a fraction of a percent of your population just like fucking printing money out of fucking thin air. And that's how you got into $20 trillion in debt because they're just fucking stealing all your money. No, not Bitcoin, Liquid Blake. Bitcoin is the fucking Rothschilds. Holy fuck. How the fuck? I mean, this is impossible, you guys. This is like, there's nothing that I can say to you that was retained. Like, you don't understand the fucking scale of this shit. Oh, fuck, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting negative. All right, we're gonna call it quits. We're gonna do Sunday. We're not gonna do a podcast tomorrow or a live stream tomorrow. We're gonna do Sunday. Okay. I love you all. Have a good night. Have fun.